Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to this week's GKP Live. Sorry it was a little bit late. Literally 12 minutes ago, I was up there on that conservatory roof trying to mend it because my panel slipped out because the useless bastards that did the job didn't do it right. So I've just had to do the job, do it myself. So literally 12 minutes ago, I was up there putting that right. So I'm sorry it was a little bit running behind. We will be having Rick joining us this evening. He's running behind himself a little bit. Daz will not be with us, we don't believe, this evening. He is visiting his father in hospital. So, yeah, all the best to the family, Daz. As for anybody else, I don't know. Crafty should be joining us or jumping on. I've sent out the links to anybody. If anybody would like to join us this evening, do us a huge favour. Click on the link that's up there at the top of the comments. Feel free to jump on and come and have an natter and have a chat. I'm going to be riding it solo for a while till some of us get here, but we'll go through the comments and have a natter and a chat with everybody and see what everybody's been up to press. if anybody does have any comments or any questions or anything they would like to have a chat and natter about this evening, please feel free to share them in the comments below, and just bang them in with a capital letter or a capital question or something like that, so we know what's going on. I don't know if Daz will be with us. He might be, he might not, but thoughts are with him and his family at this present time. I was just going to say, so then, guys, how's the weekend been? Or how's your week been? Well, my week's been pretty good. Up to press, up to coming home and looking up and thinking, God damn it, there's an hole in my roof. I can see daylight, but I can't no more because I've sorted it. So that's one problem done. Weather-wise, I hope everybody's pond's been good, and I hope you've all been paying extra attention to your fish and your koi and making sure that they've got plenty of oxygen, as this is the time of year when things start getting a bit crackers and a bit crazy with these temperatures. Fish start spawning and all that kind of stuff. Has anybody had anything going on in the ponds untoward? I hope not. I hope everybody's has been okay. The only thing I've got with mine is quite a lot of foam. And it's something I'm going to ask Rick about later on, because apparently there are a few reasons as to why you can get foam on your pond. Obviously, one's protein, but another one, apparently, I was talking with Vince, and he was saying that it can be related. Oh, I've got super glue on my finger. It can be related with algae as well. So I'm going to have a natter and a chat with him and see if we can find a little bit of info about that when he gets on. I've noticed, well, I have been feeding a lot more, and I have noticed that my fish have started to gain some size and gain some body. For a while, Jeff's fish that I got from Jeff Lees, thank you very much, mate. That kahaku looked way bigger than everything else. In body mass, diameter-wise, it still does look a bigger fish than the others. But length-wise, the Benny Ginger and my Chag are certainly starting to catch it up. And it wasn't until I had a look at one or two of the little ones that I have that I noticed that a fair few of them are starting to get some body on. And when you start looking a bit more careful, they're all definitely starting to put some size on. So the feeder is working. The only downside to the feeder is they're not really responding to me when I feed. If I throw it in, I find now I have to get the food in a tub and give the tub a good shake, so they either rattly sound and then they'll respond to it. Whereas if the feeder's going, they're queuing up outside of it, waiting for it to come on. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that keeps progressing and we get a little bit of size. So I'm not going to be talking mass stupid sizes like some people will be getting on the Sakai Akari growth or the JPD build-up. But I am thinking about giving that JPD build-up a try on the next food when I get some. And using a feeder, you go through it a lot quicker. So it won't be all that long before we actually do. Right then, what we got there? Brand Family Koi Adventures says, I've been battling issues with KH and PH after heavy rain made my phone crash, but I'm back on top of it now and running sweet. FD build up, yeah, that's the one, mate. Thank you. Battling issues. I mean, I've never ever, do you know something? That's something I've never ever noticed. But last night it rained like hell. Absolutely pummeled it down from about 3 in the morning. There were a big crack of thunder, and then you wake up and think, oh God, what the hell was that? Scared me a little bit, made me jump because I didn't expect it. And then all of a sudden, man, half an hour later on, it were like absolutely torrential hammering it down. That woke me up again, and it was raining all the way through till about 6:30 this morning. Now, I know it can be said that thunderstorms can cause pressure changes and that can cause issues with your fish, but I've never really experienced a mass change in pH from rainfall. After all, we only get a couple of inches, 5,000 litres with only maybe a couple of 100 litres dropping in. I don't really see how that. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm saying I don't really see how that could affect your pH to such a degree that it was causing problem from rainfall, unless you've been getting a hell of a lot of rainfall. pH crash went from 8.9 to 6.5. That's still, if it's done that in overnight, that's one heck of a change and a drop. And KH from 15 to 4. That's not good, is it? Your KH normally only alters when your pH is your pH normally only alters when your KH is being consumed. So If your KH is being consumed by your filter system, that could have pulled down, but in 24 hours, that's a mass difference. That's a big change. I've never ever noticed it. Never, and I have tried it and tested. I even tested buckets full of rainwater to see what it came down at, and it was like 7.8. So it wasn't all that much different. It was between 7.5 and 8 when I did the liquid drip test. So I would have liked to have done a digital test to see just exactly what it was, but I didn't have that. But what I will do is I'll give that a go now. I've got a pH pen. I'll actually try it and see what the pH. I know different areas have different pH levels, don't they? So it might be a case of, depending where you live, mate, you might have a slightly different pH level. Or again, depending on where the water was evaporated from and where it dropped, could be a difference as well. Not something I've had much problem with. Mark Childs says, lost a goldfish today, got it 2 years before a youngest daughter was born, and she will be 23 this year. So 2 years before youngest daughter was born. Wow, so that makes a 25-year-old goldfish. That's a good length, a good age for a goldfish, that, mate. Nice one. It went through a move and 4 pond rebuilds. Bloody hell! So it's been in a fair few different ponds as well. Brand Family says now putting 15 kg oyster shell into backy shower. Did 20% water change and used PSB and Inverex parameter. Gone back to safe levels now. I thought oyster shells did. I thought oyster shells reduced ammonia. Oh no, that's zeolite. Sorry. So all right, so your oyster shells have managed to break down and bring that back up. Pretty. PSB you put in to boost your filter system. What's the Inverex? What's that? Inverex parameter has gone back to safe levels now. What's Inverex? Not heard of that one. Yeah, thinking of you and the family, Daz. Yeah, I probably really shouldn't discuss it, but it's been on the cards, and let's just say the cards have been dealt now. So it's not. I don't know, but Daz has said that he wants to be there for his mum and be there with the family. So let's respect his wishes and wish them all the best, and hope everything goes as it should. Brand Family Coil Adventures. Has anyone near you had any building work done near you that could have the reason your pH or KH dropped? Yeah, I would agree with that one. My dad had a bad pH crash. Well, it was a real bad pH crash. My neighbours had all their gable side of their house, or my mum and dad's neighbours had all the side of the gable house fully raked out to have it repointed, and all the cement dust and everything dropped in the pond. And within like 6 hours of them starting work, 24 out of his 26 fish were dead. They all bellied up, all started. He's still got two of those original, but yeah, 24 of them died from it. It was a bad case of pH crash because of the cement dropping in and going in the pond, as well as a lump that they slopped in there too and fessed up to slightly afterwards. So yeah. That's why when my neighbours had theirs done, I tarpauled the pond off so no one could get in there. All right then. Have we got any topics this evening that anybody would like to have an hour? Does anybody want to come on and join us? Feel free to come in and stick your heads in and say hello. Let's see, a quick run through. Best wishes for Daz. Budget Pond says, thoughts with you, Daz. Mark Childs says, all the best for you, Daz and the family. Guy says, evening all, not back from work yet. With a vomit sick. Oh, sorry, mate, that's a gutter. It's a late one. Wow, god damn, it's 5 to 8 and you're still on the road. That's not good, mate. Get to you, Mark C. You're plodding on, mate. Don't know what that one's about, Chris. Look at them. Benny going, mine's at 35. Yours is at 35 cm. No worries, mate. Thank you, Anthony. He says he'll be on in 10 minutes. Jeff Lee says, looking at them, Benny going, mine is 35 cm. Jeff, mine's crap, mate. I know yours has got a white underside to it. My Benniginger got caught by Erin, so a big patch this side and a big patch this side where all scales are missing, so it's white completely. And then it's covered in shimmies, absolutely tons of them. It's got like 30 or 40 on it now. It looks rats. It's absolutely pants. It is a fish that's going to be going. I'm going to give it to my dad, see if he's interested in it. Rocket Boy says, evening, guys. I hope everyone is doing well. And same to yourself, mate. Hope you're good. My old man's was 30. Yeah, that's a sickener and all, Aaron. His were nice, wasn't it? It was growing well. So that mean, hang about that. No, Jeff's talking about. He's on about Daz's then, isn't he? Yeah. So Daz's is the one that you got from Daz, Jeff, has got to 35. You had two, didn't you, Jeff? Are they both doing all right then? Mikey McG says hello, good evening. I hope the PH. I have a PH pen too. Nice one. Hope you're doing well, bud. Let's have a quick look at the GKP. I'm sure there might have been one or two topics or questions that were put through. Let's see if we can. I know there was a hell of a lot. We've got a hell of a lot of fish to look at. Some fish that some people put in and brought on and they've posted up there this evening. There is a lot of fish that people have stuck in, and there are some absolute belters in there. Some of that have gone, from the smaller fish to God knows massive ones. Jig says, "I'm watching, guys. Just have to pop out of the chat for a bit. Got company? No worries, mate. You got company. You don't need to be in the chat either. You don't have to watch. Take it easy, bud. It's all good." Yeah, Jeff, old man has lost a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, that's a sickener, Aaron, because yours was doing really well. Oh, it's boiling in here. Gary S says, "Evening, Gaz. Hope all is well at Gaz's koi pond. How did your family manage to get rid of the flukes from your pond?" Well, I finally managed to get rid of them, mate, by giving a double PP. I'm going to say bath, but it wasn't a bath. A double PP treatment, 2 days on the bounce. And then after I'd done the double PP treatment, I did a good water change. After the water change, I went in with Kasuri Fluke P. I think it's Fluke P, which is the liquid version. It's like a pink liquid in a bottle. I gave him a week's treatment with that, which is, I think it's a 7-day treatment. And then after that, I did another 7 days treatment. And then I waited a couple of weeks, and then I give him another dose, mate. And up to scratch, up to press, I don't seem to have any fish. The only time I see them flashing is if I've given them any mealworms. So that's I've now started to get the mealworms and just give them a crunch, so they're a bit small when I wang them in, because it's only the odd one or two of them. But the Chag's always done it. As soon as he's eaten a few mealworms, he's always had a bit of a flash. So hopefully, fingers crossed, even with these warm temps, I'm not seeing anything flash other than around feeding time. So I've just given some about an hour ago, and I was watching them, and they've just done a little bit of a flick and a flash. But that's only when they've had that bit of something to eat. I haven't bothered to take any more fish out to scrape and test them because everybody looks good. Everybody looks comfortable. I have got one fish, and it's my grown show fish that I got from George at Wakefield Koi. But the colour on that fish, it's never been bright when I first got it, and I were hoping it was going to be a nice kahaku pattern with a nice bit of sumi to come up over the top. With the white and red placement was quite prominent on the fish when I first got it, but it was dull, not bright, no vibrant deep red. And I thought, well, we'll see how it goes. And the sumi's not really come up and done a great deal, and that particular fish has never looked very bright or brilliant. It looks a bit glazer, and that's the only fish I've took out just in case, just to check. And I took that out and give it I took 4 scrapes off it and found, absolutely nothing. So I'm going to put it down to as being just a bit of a pants colour, or hopefully it might progress. It's something I can learn from. If nothing happens with it, nothing progresses and it doesn't get any better. What I have said, my dad's back garden pond is green, and he's not bothered about that. He just likes the fish to stay in it natural. He turned around and said that he'd be more than happy to take it and see if we can bang it in there and put in some bit of green water and see if that brings any of the colour out on it. So in the near future, maybe not this year, it might be next year, if we pick up any more stock this year. I don't think I will be, but if we do, then I might move it around a bit sooner. If not, then that fish is going to stay with my dad and see just something that we can work and learn from. See if the green water brings out the colour in the fish and brings up the Benny and the Sumi. The Kiwa's all right. That's sorry, Kiwa. The Shiroji is fine. That's pretty good. The Shiroji is a nice colour, but the rest of it, the Benny and the Sumi is real dull. But other than that, every other fish looks pretty good, pretty well. So I'm hoping that I've knocked them on head, mate, permanent. Bit of a long-winded answer, but yeah, mate, that's what I did. Double PP. I'm not going to tell you the rates that I did. All I will say is it was higher than a recommended dose. And then that was on the first one. And the second one, I gave a higher than the recommended dose and plus higher than the first dose. I now know what my fish are comfortable with PP, but it's not something I'm going to use or do regular. To use that like I did to get rid of a parasitic problem that I was struggling to get rid of worked. And it would be something that I will only go to again if I have that kind of trouble. Quite happy and quite comfortable to do it and to do a live whilst doing it, because, I mean, anything could have really gone wrong, but I was prepared if it did. I had bowls ready to go if I needed to take any fish out in good pond water prior to the treatment, so I could just whip them out and swap them. But yeah, straight in with a day treatment. First treatment, day one, I put it in. I let the PP run its course. I left it in 24 hours. I didn't neutralize it. The following day, I dropped 6 barrels out, so there are 100 litres per barrel, so it was 600 litres. I dropped out 600 litres and give a partial water change, and then when I went straight back in again with a PP with a stronger dose again, the following day, I left that for a full 24 hours. When I come back home, it was still a little bit brown and a bit of a tinge to the water, so I neutralised it with hydrogen peroxide. After I'd neutralised it with hydrogen peroxide, I left it till the following day. Following day, did a water change, and then I went straight in with a fluke treatment. And fingers crossed, all looks good. No more problems, no more silly fish giving it tail walking and all the rest of it, or flushing the gills out or doing anything weird. So hopefully we've done it and we've sorted it. Now then, next one, father and son koi. What's the difference between a mango karashi goi and a beni goi? A mango karashi goi is a karashi, and a beni goi is two totally different fish. One just being mango in colour as opposed to the standard kind of cream colour, I would have said. The difference being the two totally different varieties of fish, mate. One's a karashi goi, one's a beni goi. The beni goi and the mango is just a different colour to the beni goi. I believe. I don't think there's anything more different than that. The beni goi is a straight single coloured fish, with the karashi goi, again, a straight single coloured fish, but two different varieties. The mango side of it is, I believe, with the karashi goi, I think there might be another colour and all. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a couple of varieties of shade, but I'm pretty sure that's the only real difference, mate. Both single coloured fish. There we go. I need a malted barley pen. Just so I need to know whether it needs topping up with bottled Guinness. Whether you need topping up. I use Brewers Shop Works. I use Brewing Shop Works a treat. Brewing Shop. Can anybody recommend a decent pH pen, please? I don't even know what the brand of mine is. I'd have to have a look, mate. Maybe Crafty might be able to tell you when he comes on, because he's obviously Perfect Aquatics. I'm pretty sure that they will probably stock something along there. And if we double check on that one, father and son koi, we shall ask our resident expert when he gets on, which will be Rick, if the difference between the mango karashi and the beni goi, two different type of fish, mate. But I believe the beni goi and the karashi goi, but you can get two colours in the karashi. I don't know if there is free or not, but we'll double check. Yeah, right then. Does anyone here recommend any Wi-Fi water monitoring systems? I mean, well, there's that one. Is it Cat Toilet? Cat Toilet, I believe it is. Pretty sure a Bendigo is out of a Kahaku spawning. Well, you get Bendigo from a Kahaku spawning, but you'll get Bendigo from a Bendigo true spawn, wouldn't you? But yeah, you might be more right with that one as well, mate. And I don't think Karashigoi. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Roof. That's the one. Cat Toilet. That one's pretty good from what I've seen. But I don't think it's actually designed for koi ponds. I think it's actually for tropical fish tanks and what have you. So it's something you can cross over and use. But they are, and the other ones, what, Blue Lab? I think Blue Lab do one as well, but they're only, I think they do, is it pH? Is it pH, G, or KH and something else, I think, temperature on the Blue Lab Guardian. There we go, mate. How are you doing? You all right?
I am now.
Now then, quick question. Can you recommend a good pH pen? Do you have any in your shop? Do you stock any of them?
No, just use liquid.
Just use a liquid.
Yeah, the ones I think are worth having. Don't buy it if you're going to look into them, guys. I'd strongly suggest you don't buy the cheap Chinese shit because people that I do know that have got them, they get mental different readings when they do comparisons. So they're not great. Yeah. But the Guardian, Blue Lab Guardian.
The Blue Lab Guardian, Blue Lab Guardian, that does pH. Is it pH, KH, and temperature?
pH, total dissolved solids, temperature, and something else. But to be fair, it's been upgraded now as well because it also comes with like a wireless app. So now you can actually monitor from afar rather than having to see it when it's inside your filter house or whatever.
Yeah,
where you actually don't see anything unless you actually physically check. So the downside is they're well expensive.
Yeah, well, the pH pens and the salt meter reading pens, they're I think for a reasonably good price one, it's something like 140 odd quid out there. Something
yeah,
like
I can't remember the name of the ones that we use, but yeah, they're not 20 quidders from Amazon. They're like 100. Some at Vet off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Well, Blue Lab pH pen that Blue Lab does is £88.95, and Blue Lab do the Blue Lab Guardian, and they do they're pretty good machines. But that one there, I mean, these ones here, a digital pH meter reading pen, $7.99. You can guess how good that's going to be.
Yeah, it gives you a thereabouts, won't it?
Yeah, you're going to get some ish, but not. The other thing with them, with all pens or all forms of things like those, they all need to be regularly collaborated. What's the word? Calibrated. So you have to use like depending on which type you want for soft water, hard water, and all the rest of it, you use a certain type of sachet. You pop it in, you put the pen into it, you sit it in there, it sets itself to that value, and then you check it against your water. But you can run that test so many times, then eventually, after so many uses, you're supposed to recalibrate them again. So, but yeah, there's one there, Blue Labs pH pen, £88.95. Looks pretty good. Got a protective cap, comes with the free. See if we can.
One place that's worth having a look for anything like that is on Andy Finch's site. He sells multiple different sort of components that do anything like that. And if he sells it, then obviously it's going to be worth what it's worth.
Yeah.
Cause he's such a master at water that he won't sell shit that he won't put his name to.
And they do, mate. Yeah. And that one, I can say, that one is pretty damn good. But they're not cheap again. They're not the cheap. But Hannah do a pH pen as well. And that's probably one of the more simpler ones of the Hannah tests to use, I believe, the pH one.
So Koi Events has just put up Koi Medic are the ones that I use in the store, and they're really good.
64.95. Yeah.
They do set the battery life out of them, though. The batteries don't tend to last too long. But you know you're getting a decent reading off of a known brand. So.
All right, there we go. Thanks for that, Gaz. I have a mango karashigoi, and I keep thinking it was a benigoi as it's growing into a monster. Well, karashigois are big fish, mate. The karashis are very much like your chag. A big fish grows well, hungry, eat a lot, and very tame normally as well. So again, with the benigois will grow big. They're a single colour fish. They've got a lot less to do other than put into growth. They've got less pattern and all the rest of it. No ginrin scales, unless it is a ginrin one, obviously. But you can get the karashi.
It's more the crossbreeding on it, Gaz.
Where's it come from? The mango karashigoi. I'm guessing that at some point they must have crossed something else into it to get it.
Yeah, the colour. They would have had a dark looking karashi that uses a parent set.
There's also another one as well, Father and Son. There's actually a super mango, which is a karashigoi as well, I believe. Kigoi. Up north, Koi says the super mango is even more mango color than your karashigoi, but they're beautiful, absolutely stunning. I've only ever seen one exceptionally good one, and it was a mate of mine that had one, but unfortunately he lost it. But that was beautiful. The Fukrin scalation pattern that I had on that was out of this world, man. It was mint, absolutely stunning fish.
Where's the rest of the mob anyway?
Rick's running a bit late. He said hopefully he'll be with us for about 8-ish, but he's running a bit late. Daz, unfortunately, is gone to hospital to see his dad with his mum to be there with family. So
perfect.
And nobody else, but just me and you, mate. Just rocking it solo this evening.
Like a date.
Yeah.
But not a date.
Oh, fucking right, you man. Evening all. Gaz, I'm after some advice. I've got a karashigoi, and it's a saw. It's a saw come up on the underside of its mouth. What's the best way to treat it? Thanks, Matt. Is yours the one that I seen on the Facebook on see you later, bud, on Crafty's group? Is that the one, Matt? It was on the underside of the lip.
Under or in?
But it's kind of both. Let me just see. Let me see if I can bring it up. If it was, we can at least if it is Matt, we can bring it up and have a bit of a see. A lot of people would say that might be mouth rot. And it doesn't necessarily mean it is mouth rot. I mean, this is the time of year where you'll see a lot of fish and they'll do a lot of mouthing at each other. And I know I've said this before and people have gone, I don't think it's right, but it's factual. They do actually do it. No, mate, it's on the inside. Right. So we ain't got. Have you by any chance got any pictures of it? Could you upload it onto the Gazza's Koi Pond community Facebook group and post it on there so we can have a look? If it's on the inside, has it been grazing a lot? Is it like on the inside of just the lip kind of bit where it might have been grazing at side? Have you been giving them enough food? Silly as it might sound. That makes them do a little bit more extra grazing around edge of the pond. Have you got a fiberglass pond? Might be a little bit abrasive and it might have worn or rubbed its lip sore. But again, what we're just going to say is you will quite often see from time to time where you get males doing what they call mouth wrestling, and they do go up against each other. And everybody says, "Oh, look, my fish are kissing," but they're not. It's establishing male dominance within the pond, and that's what I've researched and found on it. 9 times out of 10, it's 2 males that you'll find doing that. And sometimes they can end up with a little bit of a sore mouth from doing it. But the other one is it could be mouth rot. And if it is mouth rot, then you're going to need to get some pharma treatment on it, mate. But the problem you've got to get, or make sure that you don't get, is any fluid into the gills. You've got to be real careful. So sedating the fish and treating it with a topical treatment would be your way. But is there any way you can bang it up, mate? Are you a member of the Gaz's Coupon community. Let me know if you are.
Well, it's quite an easy solution, to be fair. Obviously, you're going to need to make it have a couple of Zs and pull it down so it's nice and kippy. Use cotton buds on a stick. Use also clean, and then administer through cotton wool. It's quite simple.
But make
and
sure
then a propolis spray down the inside as well, or iodine. There you go. Yeah, size already nailed it. Well done, mate.
Make sure that if you do use it, then you're using your cotton buds. Dip it in, apply it once, spin it round, dip it in, apply it once. Don't keep going backwards and forwards with the same cotton bud. Use it once, chuck it, get another one. Use it once, chuck it, get another one. You don't want to be putting any of that bacteria back into any of your treatment, mate. You see a lot of people doing it online. A lot of people double dipping, so to speak. Not good.
I don't mind a double dip.
I knew that one might come up. But yeah, it's not good, mate. You want to make sure that you're keeping, if you're doing any form of surgical treatment, cleaning wounds or anything, only use the product once, dispatch it, dispose of it, get a new one again and again and again. And then leave it be, mate. See how it goes for a day or two. Once you've done that, if things look like it's sealing up, just try salt bathing it from there on in. Don't go back.
Don't keep playing with it.
Yeah, don't keep going back and removing it. If it looks like it's turning white or colour, then it's healing up and it's healing. The process is starting. A lot of people will go back and remove all that and clean it up again and do it again and do it again and do it again and end up just prolonging the healing process. So give it a go, mate. See what happens. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that should help you. But that's sedate, iodine and a cotton bud. Make sure you don't allow the iodine to go into the mouth. Your job's a good one. Definitely don't get it anywhere near its gills. Make sure it's well and truly under, mate, when you do it and all. Because a lot of people think, oh, that fish is near, it's gone, it's rolled over. Let it roll over and give it a second or two, obviously. You want to still see its gills moving. Don't leave it too long because then it won't be waking up again. But a lot of people get halfway into the treatment and the fish starts coming round, then you have to sedate it again, and obviously it just stresses fish. So make sure it's well and truly under first. You've got a good 5 minutes before it starts coming round, and that's plenty of time enough to get a clean up and sort it out. Next one. Got a hammy and a shower. Do it.
Yeah, yummy. Yamabuki.
A yam and a shower that do it every feed time. What, the old gob wrestling? Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, you did put yummy underneath there. The wife loves a double dipping.
She does, Cole.
Colin.
Mate, somebody come into our shop today. Somebody come into our shop today, mate. I ain't going to say who it is, right? But bought me a little gift, which was very, very kind.
This got me flipping heck. That's one hell of a gift.
The DJI double mic, mate, for when we're doing the auction lives. Like, you know, when I'm doing the netting up and that for the auctions.
Sweet, man. Do you know?
Absolutely banging. You know, I was made up, mate.
320 quid, then, man.
It was more the fact that he thought of me.
What the gift, that, right?
You know, he thought of me and then popped it in. So, yeah, made up.
Made up. Yeah, I would be an all. That's one hell of a gift. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to download something for you right now, Gaz, because I am.
Lee Taylor says, Gaz, can anyone join the community chat, mate? As in the community chat, which one, bud? Which one are we talking about? If you're talking about the, hang on, let me see if we can bring it up.
That is Koi Pond community.
That's Koi Pond community chat. It don't exist anymore, mate. If you want me to make one, if anybody else wants me to make one, I will more than happily have a community chat going again. But at present, the original one that we had ceased to exist because we only ended up just being all us lot. So we just had us on and just made it as a general chat. But yeah, if anybody wants me to make one, I will happily make a Gaz's Koi Pond chat. And anybody wants to join it, feel free to drop me a text message or drop me a, excuse me, Messenger, whatever, and I'll add anybody to one. We'll start a new one going. If you want to join us in the Discord, we're in there most evenings. Anybody can join that, mate. If you go to let me see if I can show you exactly where it is. In fact, it'll make life a little bit more easy if I did. If I bring this up, show my second screen. Allow that up a second. Right, just take that one down. If you look there, we've got the links here. If you click this, basically, if you're on YouTube, like that, go to YouTube, type in top there GKP, and you'll bring up my channel. If you go to my logo, that's there. That'll take you to my actual channel there. Look, click on them 4 links. There you'll see you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, join us in the Discord, or on TikTok. So you can follow me on any one of them, mate. But if you join us in the Discord, follow me. Yeah, they're all active. They're all going. As for the old GKP community chat, I'm more than happy to make one, mate. If you want to jump in the Discord one, come in and say hello. We'll get something sorted out. Your face is lying, Crafty. You'd prefer a burger.
This is true. Who put that?
That was Marek. He's always in with the one-liners, isn't he? Gary says, even all up, you're all well. And to you too, Gary. Have you noticed how many Garys we're getting in here now? This is mint. We're getting loads of Garys on. I thought we were a dying breed, man.
No chance, mate. Everyone knows a Gary.
Right, where were we? Well, we're going to have a look at this one, this question that Lorraine sent in. Temperature swings, seen as the weather's turned again. Temperature swings, Crafty. How detrimental can temperature swings be to us koi?
Very. In a nutshell, I mean, where do I start with that question?
Well,
begin like so. What we're looking at now.
Sorry, I'm just gonna it might make it easier. Is it as bad if we're going from like 10 to 15, 20, 15 degrees, and then getting like temperatures like we've got this week, and they've gone from my pond's gone from 15 to 24.
Yeah.
Is it as bad that way as it is the other way, going it down?
Yeah, I mean, swings are swings, man. It don't matter which way you go. The issue that we have going up's worse than coming down, really. When we've got warmer water and then it's getting colder as the months progress through, but sorry, I just see. Let me turn the comments off because it made me lose me track. Yeah, so basically, once we've got warm water all the way through, and then we're getting them temperature drops at night, where you come down like at the beginning of summer that weren't really a summer. You know, we're getting big temperature fluctuations, and the fish just don't know whether they're coming or going because the stability of their habitat is all over the place. Because of that, we don't know, or the fish cannot sort of get into any sort of stability, and because their metabolism changes in different temperatures. So, for example, in the colder waters, it sit towards the bottom, chill out, not really move anywhere. Where in the warmer waters, they speed around at 100 miles an hour, so they need feeding. Now, the problem that we get when we get those fluctuations, not just with a fish not being able to build an immune system and its metabolism not working the same way, which is why you see the temperature, when you're putting the foods in, the advice of when to feed certain foods at certain pond temperatures, and that's because of their digestive tract, depending on temperature, can fall into issues. So, for example, if you're feeding high growth and it's only 8-degree water, they will still eat it because they're stupid, right? But they won't be able to digest it. So you can actually lead to internal problems because the fish doesn't have a stomach. It's just got a digestive tract. Goes in that end and out that end. They do all the bits in the middle and then crap it out. You know, they absorb all the nutrients that they can. Okay. Now, if a fish can't break down that food, it can lead to internal problems. So on top of that, because the temperature fluctuations are up or down, the filtration doesn't come into its own as well, right? So that's where feeding becomes an issue, because people see that the fish are hunting, they'll feed, they'll shit, your filter won't be able to cope, then you get water problems. So temperature fluctuations.
This is what Ryan was saying before.
It's such a huge topic that yes, they do. But coming out of summer, when the temperatures start getting colder, and then the waters drop, because them temperatures towards the end of autumn into winter, they don't spike enough. You don't get so much fluctuation. The fish stays within its comfort zone, so you tend not to get so many issues. Not only that, because we're British, we don't like to go in the garden anyway, and we don't like feeding anything because the water's cold. So it means that we actually don't create any problems either. If you keep a stable environment, also let's go back to temperature fluctuations. On top of that, a lot of parasites will pick up on the stress of the fish, because it does stress fish out when
the
they
weaker
don't.
fish.
They are.
If they're struggling with
it. Hit a weaker fish, blossom, start hitting all the other fish, then you get fluke, then you get costia, etc., etc. But everything brought into one is what causes a parasite issue. If, like going back to last week, Gaz, with the temperatures that we spoke about, having stability, it doesn't stop parasites, but because you've got a stable environment, it's another preventative measure, because
it makes it easier to deal with, doesn't it? And it's easier and better for the fish to have to deal with it in those environments. As Matt was saying there, though, and this is a little bit.
I'll turn the comments off.
But look at them in the wild. They're happy to swim from deep water to sunning themselves on the banks, and that's always been something that I've always thought. But I know everybody always turns around and says the difference being is, a mirror carp to a koi carp, they're not the same fish, but they are out there. Their anatomy is identical. They're just different in colours. They're just different in patterns. But the difference is
they're also different in body
shape. But they're still with
progression, body, colour, etc.
Yeah, that's what we've manipulated them from, haven't we? Yes. They've been crossbred with those originally. Yeah. That's where the foundations are.
Yes.
And the fact that we've then manipulated, altered, and changed them, selected and picked and selected and picked and selected, we've made them weaker fish than their wild counterparts. And that's where they act and behave different. But I will say that you will see your fish in the summer, warmer days, up at the top of the surface, basking as a normal carp would do. But then when I've noticed it here, because a couple of weeks ago we had a warm spell, and I was saying to everybody, my fish are feeding really well. The bang on it. And then just before this week has kicked in and it's gone nice and warm again, they proper dropped off again. And the temperatures had gone from being 22 degrees to 23 degrees in pond, right back down to 14 and 12 degrees, and then coming back up and then back down.
My pond yesterday.
And my fish were, they were a bit lethargic with it. It did knock them back up.
My pond yesterday, Gaz, was 28.8 degrees.
But well, I do live in the North Pole, mate, near enough, don't I? It's cold here. We've got 30 degrees, I think, or 32 degrees has been the warmest we've had it here so far this week. But my pond has only got up to 22. That's the warmest I've seen it so far this week. I haven't checked today, but it's not been as warm today as what it was in the previous days. So, you do get some fluctuations.
There's more to it than that, mate, because if we're getting these fluctuations and we ain't getting the stability, the progression of your koi is also inhibited as well. Okay, because like generating good skin luster good colour, good growth, and then good skin development, it all takes effect. That's why stability is key. Whether or not you're at 24, 25 degrees and pushing growth, or whether you're maintaining 18 degrees, which is the best temperature for conditioning, as soon as you take it out of that, it all has an adverse effect.
Yeah.
So you'll never ever get the results outside of a stability than what you would if you was able just to hold a temperature. You don't have to hold it at 28 degrees and push them. You can hold it at a nice stable 18 and let the weather pick up the temperature fluctuations, right? It means that you're not dropping down to 18. So therefore,
18, it's just going to stay there.
Which means that you're still within that band where their metabolism's quick. They want to eat, they want to grow, they want to condition. They're not being, they're not 100 mile an hour at 18, but they're nicely grazing through. And you can feed them.
Also, their immune system's remaining up there in that higher bracket as opposed to.
So 18 and above, if you stabilise at 18, if you had an air source heat pump, say, your water gets to 18, air source heat pump maintains that. If then you have like a temperature fluctuation like we're currently seeing with the hot weather, your pump will go up to 28 degrees. But then at night, if we had a 10 degree drop in an evening into the night, which does happen.
Yeah, that's what it's been doing here, mate.
Your air source heat pump then kicks in and then monitors an 18.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
why air source heat pumps are very economical throughout the summer.
Yeah. It's the only difference being in the winter. You remember me saying to you last week that fish, they've become a bit lethargic. I don't know what's up with them. They're not all. They weren't eating. They was eating, but let's just say they were more through the day while the water was warm. They were smashing it, and then as it was dropping off, and I come out in the morning thinking, right, my water should still be quite warm. I'll bang them some feed, and they're looking at water, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, man, that's back down at 14 degrees, and throughout the midday yesterday. It was 22, so we're going 22 down to 14 overnight, which is, and now this week it's remained a little bit more steady because it's been warmer again. But yeah, it's fluctuations. This is what we were saying the other week, wasn't it, about stability is key, but stability for the koi is always better. But if you're living in my pond, you have to suck it up and become double hard bastards. And
the truth be known, mate, they don't get it in wild ponds. They certainly don't get it in Japan. They just get in. They have diesel heaters in Japan, but they don't warm the water. They go for the environment.
Yeah, warm the environment, and the same as they would do in like tropical fish shops. You don't heat every tank, do you? Because it's just not cost effective. You heat the environment so it keeps all the temps to an ambient temperature. Yeah. But that's the difference. That's what we were saying like last week. It's stability is key, and keeping them at those exact temperatures means that they will have and thrive and have the best life, as opposed to thriving rather than surviving, as people have normally said. Look at that fresh trim. Hey. Yeah.
Fucking hell, mate. Tell you what, mate. I bet you was a looker 20 years ago, Rick.
Still am, mate.
25.
Get better and better with age.
But like a fine wine.
That's another very good point there as well. Not just koi, but also filter bacteria. Now then, quick question, Rick. Sorry. Welcome, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Right, yeah, cheers.
Get straight into it. No, it was just so don't forget. Karashi guy, mango karashi guy. Does the karashi guy and the benny guy, does the benny guy come from a kohaku spawning?
Generally, yeah.
Can you do a pure benny guy to benny guy produce benny guy, or will it still also throw upper counterparts too?
Orange is pretty dominant. So if you spawned two orange together, basically a benny guy, you'll get benny guy from different spawning, so that depending on where they've come from, but orange is like the dominant gene. So if you put two orange fish together, the bulk of them are going to come out orange.
Yeah. So
if you've got a benny guy that's come from a Hiatsuri spawning. So 60% of Hiatsuris are born Benigoi. They're just cold. But obviously, if you kept one of them, then you've got a different mix in the genetics entirely.
Which could, if you spawn that lot fish again, could spawn anything or throw anything from that then.
Well, it's got black in its genetics, so you might be more prone to throw in shimmies and whatever.
Yeah, or your Akabekos.
Yeah, potentially, but yeah, it's just without knowing.
Squash tomatoes.
Yeah, so it's one of those. To be the best Benigoi, obviously, are clean and are kind of red rather than orange. So they have to be selectively produced. Otherwise, we could have masses of orange Benigoi available.
Mango Karashigoi, then what lines bred into the Karashigoi to make a mango Karashigoi?
They'd have just used. So if you do Karashigoi, you get different variants of color. So if you choose.
I thought there was three, because you see the mango, the standard Karashigoi, which is like that cream color, isn't there? And then there's like a slightly tea browny color, and then you've got your mangoes. That's the only ones that I've ever really saw or seen. Is that because they just select those particular ones?
Yeah,
can you get any variations of shade of it?
I'll throw it in. So Dainichi's Yellow Monkey. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have a look at that pond,
like the one that you auctioned off on Tuesday night.
A lot more mango in colour, but the others are lighter.
Yeah.
It's all come from the same
variations
spawn.
of the same shade, all from the same spawning.
Yeah.
To a point, but at the end of the day, if you think Jumbo Karashigoi all come from Kanishi, he was the man that did the big Karashigoi. So everyone's parents have come kind of from him, and then Dainichi might have picked his biggest bone structure parent from him, and then put a Kahaku or something with it, or done something different to create a slightly different hue. So you got Kigoi involved with it. So Karashigoi, you got Chag. There's all sorts involved. So depending on what breeder you get them from, as to what
colours you can get,
what they're aiming for. So
they are a totally different fish. The Benigoi and the mango Karashigoi, totally different types.
Yeah, generally Benigoi are from sort of Kahaku lineage or whatever, whereas all your Karashis are from a Karashigoi. So a Karashi will grow massive, generally will grow big easily. The Dainichi ones have got a better bone structure than a lot of others, because that's what they've got, the route they went down with the Yellow Monkey. Whereas
I shall mark that one down as a correct answer then. Thank you very much, Matt.
The Super Mango is more of a different. Again, they got a massive structure, but they got a different color, haven't they? They got the orangey.
What about
remember, guys? Thank you, Cal. You got to remember, mate. When you get to certain lineages, mate, there's potential there for that to go through 15 different spawnings until they get
to get an established.
So actually, when you start looking at the makeup of the genes within that, you got bits of everything.
Yeah,
to get to it.
Yeah, to get an established set type, like it's 10, 15 sets of spawns, which can be 10 to 15 years of line breeding. I said,
and some. Yeah, and the thing is, you probably Dainichi's Yellow Monkey is probably one or two. It's not a lot of generations. It's probably a couple of very special parent fish that, in the right circumstances, have produced good fish. But obviously, another year they don't, probably more due to the environment the fryer in. So, we see it. If you do a spawning one time, and you have a smaller amount of fish, they get treated differently. They might have more space. They do better. The temperatures are better. For whatever reason, those fish become brilliant. You do the same spawning the following year, you got more of them. You try and produce more fish from the same environment, and suddenly it all just goes a bit peaked on. You haven't got anything you had the year before.
Which is exactly the kind of topic that we were talking about on Wednesday, when we were saying how some of the people that have been doing the Grown Show with a Difference have produced lots of patterned fish.
Monstrous difference. I knew there'd be a difference, but it's...
And that's... You think that's primarily down to water temperatures, pushing the fish,
treatment,
and environments as well? Or
I think it's something that obviously that's something we've been trying to learn, but it's environment plays a much bigger factor in the outcome of the offspring from a genetic parent. So you can use the same parent for 10 years and have differing results depending on how the offspring were treated in, like growing, the stock densities, the food they're given, the temperatures. But yeah, temperatures is a big thing. But also there seems to be a window when if you grow them at a certain speed at a certain point in their life, you get a different outcome.
Yeah.
But that's really hard to control, like crazy hard.
Yeah, well, I mean, it only takes, like, for example, if you're doing it naturally with heat from a polytunnel, if you don't get the right temperatures outside, you're not going to produce the same temperatures next year in, year out, and you get different results depending on how warm it gets.
But they get breeds out in Japan, especially not so much now, but back when I first used to buy fish out 20, 30 years ago, they'd use the same, they might have 6 parent sets they used, and they'd have good years and bad years. But they're using the same parents. The genetic stock's always the same, and yet their offspring were different year on year, depending on how the mud ponds performed, what the temperatures were like, and all the rest of it.
Would that be fair to say what might have happened with the yellow monkey then?
Probably, if it's the same parent set and they've had 1 year where they've got thousands of massive bodies, amazing looking fish, and the next year they haven't, the genetics haven't changed. So
it's got to be environment. Environment can play a massive part in it, then, doesn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, it's huge. And that's on a single coloured fish that isn't producing patterns.
Yeah.
Then you start going down the road of, with the Deutz fish, the scalation, and then the patterns on pattern fish. Yeah. We've probably seen it the most obvious in Kajakus over the years. And obviously we've got certain lines of Kajakus we use, and we'll do a parent set, one male, one female. Before I go to different ponds, and the results are different. And you're like, well, there should be the same percentage of Matsubas, pattern fish, whatever, but it doesn't come out like that. And you're like, well, but it's even more perhaps severe than I realised. We just thought there's a bit of a play going on, but it's massive. And it could come down to types of food. Like I say, I think everything plays a part, but if you nail it, and it makes a big difference. So if you imagine we do a Kajaku spawning, and we've got 100,000 fish, and you get things right, and 25% of them have got a reasonable pattern, but you get it wrong and none have a decent pattern, that's 25,000 fish you can sell or no fish you can sell from the same genetic parents.
Yeah, this is what we're talking about, weren't we? We've been taking part in the Growing Show with a Difference, but for some reason we don't seem to have the colours and the patterns that everybody else has. Me and Rick were just having a bit of a chat and a talk about it earlier on Wednesday and having a bit of a natter about it, and that's what led us on to the different environments can produce this, that, and other, which has been quite interesting to see what everybody's done and how much different varieties they've got, because we all initially started with exactly the same fish from the same environment,
starting in the same place.
Yet it's produced so many different results, hasn't it, throughout?
Which was kind of the plan, but it'd perhaps be more severe, but more from my point of view. When I look at the ones I've grown, I'm thinking, well, Jesus, I should never have sold them. They're amazing, but I would have never, if I'd kept them all, I'd have never grown them in the same manner.
Yeah,
I've got
because you would have had the stocking room to put them in and do what you've done.
I wouldn't normally. That batch would all be now at about 5-6 cm.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to take. Did you have about 130 odd or something when you?
I only had just over 200, basically.
Just over 200. So you took 200 fish like that, taking them away, and you've got them in a matter of weeks to 20 cm plus. You can't give that environment mass of space.
That must have been the feeder
200 to 200 to 200 and 200. You'd have tanks.
That's the difference, isn't it? So suddenly, on one hand, I'm looking at thinking, shit, I've just sold 10,000 of those fish that I wish I kept. But actually, in reality, if I had those 10,000 fish and put them in a pond like I would have done, they'd all be 5 cm, and there probably wouldn't be anything like the patterns and quality amongst them.
Yeah,
I'm seeing.
Isn't it funny?
It's honestly one of those things that, probably for a decade, I used to just it's genetics, isn't it? As long as you use the right fish, your results will be the same. And that was in my head. That's what everyone teaches you. You sit down at college and you work out the genetics and you go, well, this is the phenotype, this is the genotype, this is what you'll get, X amount of this, and this. But the reality is totally different. So then
Did you go college?
Why it's different.
Did you go college?
Me? No, I just looked through the window, mate.
Fine as that, mate.
Trying to read somebody else's writing, see what they were doing.
Yeah, we've all been to Sparshot and spent years there doing different things, but they're only teaching you out of books. Yeah. So to be fair, the funny thing is, two of the lecturers that taught me are two of the people that obviously take fish from us now, because they don't do it in the way we do it.
I thought you was going to say you had phobias of fish.
Not phobias, but it's
having a fish phobia and having to teach it.
Well, he didn't handle a lot of fish. Well, that's what he did, but not as much as he might have liked. I think environment is absolutely.
This is a bit where everybody always says no two ponds are the same. That's a very, very true statement, then, isn't it? It quite literally is. No two ponds are the same, even though technically you've made two ponds which are really one because they're linked.
Yeah,
but you fed different
feeds. They're
as
same as I can make it. They've got the same filtration. They're linked, so the water's going from one filter across to the other pond, back and forth. So temperature-wise,
but fish can't transfer back and
forth. Everything is as one pond, but I can feed them separately.
Yeah,
or do different light regimes, or do whatever differently. But they are technically in the same water at the same temperature, at the same everything.
So they are that way is the only way to do it, by having linked water. Then
it was just something that it's just the way it happened, and it's like, well, this is ideal now. We can do different stuff with them, and like I say, it's already. It's not. You can't. It's one of those things. It's difficult to prove if something's better or worse. Outcomes can be better, but you don't know. You know, people say, "I'll use this food. You get less waste." But unfortunately, the way I've got it, I can't tell who's producing what waste. The waste's got to be dealt with, and it's going in different ponds.
Yeah,
you can see the difference in growth or body or color, but you can't necessarily see the water conditions. If they were separate, you'd see much better water in one than the other, because they're producing less waste and the food's that much better. But obviously, that from that point of view, they can't then be linked. And then once they're not linked, they're not the same kind of ponds.
You have to cook properly, because all you can hear is your knife going on plate.
I do apologise. I'm so excited to get in there.
It's like that fingernails on a chalkboard kind of thing, isn't it? When you get that, yeah.
I'm being
supposed to bother people with fillings out as well. But
Craft, you want to eat off paper plates, mate? They don't make the noise.
Mate, when I used to do that, mate. I used to do that. When she fucks off for a week, I'd get a load of party plates in.
Party plate, yeah.
That's just because they can't be asked to wash up.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even have to. You just give them to the
dog. You've got a dishwasher
in
there, though, haven't you? That's a dishwasher there behind you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you still even can't be asked to load that.
Fuck that, mate. You've got to make more mess. You have to make mess, and then you put stuff in the wrong cupboards. You know what I mean? You get wrong, don't you? Don't matter for doing the right, you get it wrong.
Where's this live? Shit to it. It'll live on the side at worktop for 4 days till she gets back.
Yeah, until it goes furry.
Now, the next one is from Nikki Morbit that says new pond syndrome and nitrite spikes. There's a topic. New pond syndrome. What is new pond syndrome?
Just adding fish into a pond where the filter can't cope with the ammonia and nitrite, isn't it?
Basically, the pond maturing, going from a puddle of water to a living thing, basically.
So to add a little bit onto his question, because I want to know if the fish in, fish out cycle.
Fish in what?
Fish in, fish out.
They call there's people that say, and I don't get how it can be done, because I don't know if it can be, right? And I don't think it can be. I think it's a big lot of tripe. Fishing cycle, obviously, you put a fish in. Fish produce waste, ammonia, the nitrifying bacterial cycle begins. Boom, we're off. The new pond syndrome is your filters aren't keeping up with what's coming in because it's new, fresh, and it's got to go through the cycle and the system of it. Yeah. Till such time as it catches up. Once it's caught up, everything's hunky-dory. You start increasing your feed. You basically start that filtration catch-up process again and again and again till it settles with the amount that you're feeding. Once you're feeding comfortable, your filters keep up with it, catch up with it, jobs are good one. I guess that's new point syndrome.
Your water goes through different cycles as well, though. Mine certainly did.
But you could technically, if you had 6 new ponds, stock one, 72 hours later, move the fish to another one, move the fish around, and you could slowly, without the fish ever experiencing bad water, really, maturing
all 6.
You could technically do it. It'd be an absolute pain in the bum. Yeah. And you don't heat new ponds not as bad as it used to be because you can buy decent products now that start your filters. You can
PSP
go on the internet
and all the rest of it. Yeah.
Go, oh, hang on, I can put this in, and the ammonia's gone, and the bacteria that would have taken 6 weeks are now already in my filter. It's technology's kind of made.
What do you think we do in the shop when we get a new shipment of fishing?
Well, I would imagine that you already keep the cycled water from what you've had in there previous. Move smaller stocks into one to accommodate to give you an empty vessel, and then bang everything in there and just go loads of PSB. Jobs are good.
No, drain it, completely disinfect.
You go completely brand new.
Really brand new.
So you go for a full.
Already had a bit of a kickstart. You know.
Would you even go to the trouble to like restart the filter media and everything? You wouldn't use like seeded media.
No, seeded media, but water, complete change, pond completely cleaned down. Your filter gets knocked back.
Yeah, but
and then you have to control it. You have to control it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a difficult one because as much as you try and break chains of parasites and whatever, we've had a problem this week where one of our fry ponds has got a massive filter on it. And it's like, well, the fish that come out of it have been mint, not a problem. I put a new batch of fry into the pond's drained, dried, completely sterilised, refilled, but the filter's obviously sat there, damp, still alive, still got whatever in it.
Yeah,
fry have gone in, and the fry was split between multiple ponds, but that pond that have got a filter, fry went in. 5 days later, I put the filter on when the ammonia starts coming up to actually kick on. 48 hours later, they've gone down with gill flukes, and you're like, that's come after 2 weeks. Literally must have, and you're like, I should have disinfected the filter. But then if you disinfect the filter, you jump back all the weeks. So it's one of them. Yeah, you've got to weigh up pros and cons. Is the possibility of a parasite being transferred better or worse than bad water?
Yeah,
and that's you have to make those decisions, don't you? Do you take the fish out of a pond that are all happy, so it's all mature and running, and dump a load of new ones in? If they go down with a problem, do you go back and complain to someone, or have you just given them a problem that was there that those fish were living with and dealing with, and the stress of the new ones going in, they've just picked it up?
Yeah, totally right.
It's tricky. You have to everything we do. You have to make decisions. What's the best course of action for that situation? And obviously, poison. If you've got too many fish, then sometimes you have to put them in mature setups because otherwise you're going to poison them. And if there's a parasite knock on from it, then you have to deal with that. That's a lesser problem than poisoning them all.
Yeah. I learned quite a lot off of the shipment we had in February for the quarantining. So many different issues that go on through that 6 week period. You know, it's quite intriguing that you can get something that has nothing and then something that has multiple problems constantly to a batch of fish that go down with sleeping sickness and you're battling like fuck to keep them alive. You know, so
it's frustrating, but it's also part of why koi keeping is so interesting, isn't it? They are.
If it were a piece of piss, nobody would do it, would they? Because there wouldn't be any challenge to the hobby. It can be frustrating at times, but when you get it right, it's good, isn't it?
It's very rewarding, mate.
It is.
Very
it is.
rewarding.
Yeah. I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah, you know, one good thing is you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. What about the nitrate spikes then? Best way to deal with a nitrate spike.
Right.
Nitrite.
R-I-T-E. Nitrite.
Salt.
Salt makes it less toxic.
And then water changes. Yeah.
So
that's how I would take it in the shop. I drop 20% of water, fresh water, add a dose of salt, and then just keep monitoring, keep turning that over. That's how I do it. And it works for me. Rick probably tell you how to do it different ways as well.
You're going to have nitrate if you push it. If you're feeding fish or a new pond, there will be periods when the nitrite's high. Add the salt, make it less toxic, and then ride it out. Cut the food back for a few days.
Yeah,
you just
rebalance everything.
Yeah, and to be fair, that nitrite is the one indicator that you know your limit. So obviously, we're always continually pushing amount of fish to filtration, and the one thing you'll get to a point where if the nitrite continually, it gets to a point where it's always there.
Mm-hmm.
You know you've just hit the maximum amount of biofiltration for that amount of food and that weight of fish.
Yeah,
that's your limit. So you either take some fish out or add some more filter or feed less. So depending on what you want to do, if you want to grow those fish, you've then got to change the environment, add more filtration, take fish out. One of the two.
And is that why, Rick, when you get to a certain stage where you half the numbers, feed the same?
That and twitchy bumhole, yeah, because when you get to that level, it's fish soup, isn't it? And you suddenly, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong quick. So, but yeah, you hit that point where they're not growing like they should. The water's you just push it to the point where it's max. Take half out, you've just halved the weight of fish. You can then just carry on and push them again, and then it's just a continual sort of cycle. It's not most people have got a pond, but they're 20 fish, and that's that. They're not pushing them or doing whatever.
Go in your bedroom, can't you?
Well, the next one that we've just had there by Andrew, it says, does sodium thiosulfate neutralize treatments like FMG and LearnX Pro? I know it does neutralize some, but I don't know if it does FMG and LearnX Pro. I know it will neutralize, you can use it to neutralize PP, can't you? And you can use it for removing chlorine.
Yeah, it bonds with chlorine to make it non-toxic or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can use it. It's one of those things you probably don't want to mix anything with anything to some degree, because already if it's got sodium in it. So if you've got salt in your pond, you're going to increase your sodium levels.
I've got to do this, guys. Hang on.
Plastic having part next week, Crafty.
I think certain stuff you'd have to go to the manufacturer. I mean, formalin and malachite, I wouldn't think it would neutralize it.
Yeah, but I know you're saying hydrogen peroxide for PP, but so does sodium thiosulfate. So they both work.
Well, the trouble is, it's just PP is an oxidizer, so anything in that can oxidize to will neutralize it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's PP is super volatile, isn't it? It's just.
Philip King says, "Do you need some nitrate to feed back your bacteria?"
No, but you'll always have nitrate in a pond once you run in. You need some nitrate to feed your plants.
I'm going to say it's the end of the cycle, isn't it? So the end of the cycle would then normally go to plant life for them to consume, to reproduce oxygen again, making your full cycle, and your full circle, so to speak.
Yeah.
Well, nitrate's a byproduct of your biomedium, your beneficial bacteria.
Yeah, it's the last stage that they can convert it to, isn't it? And then from
having
that,
extremely high nitrate can be it can be harmful, but I really don't believe that. I've got a high nitrate in my pond, but it's not so high that the fish are turning over, and it doesn't hold them back. Apparently, it will affect more skin and colour luster, etc., further down the line and growth. But
but it's something you can't.
You try and balance everything. It's fucking nigh on impossible.
Yeah,
it is. But there's weird stuff goes on. So, like my original Munger tunnel, I mean that original 20 ton of water, the amount of food and crap that went through that. And one day I was like, I'm going to test the nitrate. It's got to be through the roof. None. And I'm like,
None.
"That's 0." And I was like, that's odd. And then I started thinking about it. I think I've got so much clogged filtration in places. I've got anaerobic filtration going on all over the place, as well as aerobic filtration. It was actually reverting back, going back through the process. So you can have both things going on simultaneously. The water was mint. And I'm like, that's 2 years of just being hammered. All I've got to do is add calcium, basically. That's the one element that I was needing to put in: calcium and magnesium, banging dolomite in. Everything else looked after itself.
Do you have to monitor that more with your fry?
No, because realistically, the fry is always going into fresh water and being moved, grown, moved. They don't stay still they never stay in the same environment very long. But we do add calcium and magnesium to all the fry ponds, because you can't have too much. But if you've got too little, you're screwed.
Right.
So just err on the side of too much.
Yeah, it's better to have something than nothing.
Yeah, it's just minerals, isn't it? If they need something and they can't get it, then you're going to have all sorts of deformations and problems.
Yeah.
But if there's too much of it, it's not a problem to them.
Cool.
How would you deal with low ORP?
Why would you deal with it?
Expand on the question.
Oxidation and reduction.
How would you deal with it?
Why would you deal with it?
When the ORP value is high, there is lots of oxygen present in the water. But when you've got low ORP, you've reduced oxygen in your water.
Excuse me.
Add some oxygen, then put some air in there.
Add oxygen and clean out make sure that you can remove the breakdown of organic materials, such as dead leaves, matter, fish waste, fish shit, uneaten foods. So filtration would deal with ORP by removing the filter, wouldn't it? Surely
so there's lots of oxygen in that aspect. When you're dealing with decay and everything down, it over-oxygenates the water. But, to me, again, I don't think, unless you've got a lake, a pond, I really don't believe that there'll be enough of that sort of matter in there with decent filtration.
In a koi pond, there really shouldn't be, should there? Most people have got bottom drains that pulls everything from the bottom through a filter system and draws it all out. Flush it, cleaning your filters gets rid of your organic waste material. So you shouldn't really get to a point unless you've got one of these ponds where you've got a pebbled or rocked bottomed, where you would get a build-up of organic matter settling in and around those areas, where the only way for you to deal with that, if you had that kind of thing, would be to pump out, clean out, jet wash off, remove, refill, and start again. Like they
I've
do
seen
with
someone on YouTube actually. He's just built a new koi pond, big koi pond.
Yeah, and he's done it, pebbled it all out and all that lot.
Yeah, did you see it?
Yeah, seen it. Yes, nice build, isn't it? I just thought to myself,
it looks the nuts, but fuck me, man. God, you could give yourself issues there.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. A lot of people turn around and say, "Ooh, why have you covered bottom of your pond in rocks?" It is a place for harboring bad bacteria and all the rest of it. Some of them, that's how they're all built over in states, isn't it? Everything, they're all done like that, and they use those block systems for it to pull it all down and break it all down in the biochambers that they have underneath them and stuff. It's not the way I'd really want to do it, but you always see them. They seem to do a yearly strip down, total jet wash, fully clean, blast it all out, fill it, rinse it, and then fill it back up again and start the process off again. And that's how they seem to deal with it, just by one good deep clean every couple of seasons.
But again, that depends where they are in the States as well.
They used to do round us. A guy invented the spider filter 20 years ago, whatever it was, and loads of ponds literally have a spider web like we use in the shop, literally an under gravel filter with 5 ton of gravel dumped on top in the bottom of the pond. And for 2 years, whatever, they work an absolute charm. And then year 3, 4, 5, as they clog, the water tracks past it, you become quite an anaerobic, stinking, bubbling black mess. Yeah. The only way of dealing with is drain down, take the whole lot out,
clean it all up and start again.
Which yeah, some people
I
might
can
think,
imagine
well,
that's quite difficult to clean that amount of stone, man.
the whole lot just comes out to people just literally washed. It's just it's a monster job.
It's a big process. It isn't a tank anyway. Never mind a pond.
My old man used to run a gravel filter. I remember, cleaning that. It was fucking long.
Yeah, but if you think of it realistic though, Crafty, if you think, right, we've got a tropical fish tank there at side of me. If I wanted to set to and vac off all the bottom once a week, and I do a partial water change once a week, doing that process, give it a quick vac out, give it a quick clean, give my filter a quick swip out, and you think, right, that took me half an hour. I do that every week or every 2 weeks, however you choose to do it, and do that, 52 times, half an hour each time. By end of it, the process is far quicker to do the one big clean on an under gravel filter system than to do your 52 half an hour cleans that you're doing to keep it regular maintained. So I mean, it's catch-22, and it's a bit of both. One's
swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, one's a royal pain in the ass once a year. The other one's a small pain in the ass once or twice a week.
Yeah,
for
for higher end koi keepers, that's not acceptable. Having all that shit sat there degrading your water for a whole year.
Yeah,
but for someone that's just got goldfish and koi and just a normal ornamental pond, it's a different story. Again, a tropical tank, you're only feeding minimal amounts. But if you're a koi keeper like Lee, who's feeding 4 kilos of sake in his pond a day or whatever, you ain't going to get away with an under gravel filter, right? You've got to.
Yeah, that'll become like 5, 6, 7 times a year.
It just becomes a mess, doesn't it? That stuff that's trapped there is just consuming oxygen and stripping the water of any calcium and carbonate in there. So you're in a. That's where drum filters and stuff are a game changer for those people that are growing fish. I say properly, growing fish in a intensive manner. Because it is. I mean, if you told someone 20 years ago, I can grow my fish 50 cm, no problem in 18 months, they'd be like, you what?
You've got to become champion then. 50 cm.
A few comments in there from the original question, which was from Lee, how would you deal with low ORP? Size put there, Lee, increase filtration, increase flow rates, and add more aeration, which is what you said, add more air. But Colin says, Lee, it's not worth worrying about. Dr. Kempo says, hi, Gaz and Anthony. How you doing, mate? And Ricardo. Sorry, mate. Missed that one. Colin says, ORP, I run ozone as long as you can keep 250, then you are okay. I actually run ozone, but I run mine at 350. I says, in the States, they use a maintenance dose of PP to deal with the organics in the pebbles, gravels yearly. Saw quite a bit about it on the forums. Yeah. Right. This is going to diverge a little bit. PP does not dissolve organic matter.
It oxidizes it.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier for things to consume and destroy, but also damages the fish in the process. You've got to be,
I mean, I was, when I said this, when I was asking about the PP, and I was like, so will this break down leaves and stuff? Well, that, is that what PP, does it break down the organic matter in there? And I thought, well, I'll see. So I knew purposely there were 3 oak leaves on the bottom, and they were only, they were already partially breaking down, and they were in the bottom of the pond. And I thought, I want to see what they're like after 48 hours of PP running through the system. And it didn't do nothing. The leaf was exactly the same as what it was. Didn't do out to it.
But leaf's
I
got
expected to break it down
a hard structure in there. If you I thought it might have done a little bit more though, Rick. I didn't know. It was my first time I ever used it, but with stuff like fish waste, I'm guessing that it'll obliterate that more easily than what it would do organic matter such as plant material. The smaller the waste, the easier it is to sort of break down, isn't it? A plant material was a tough structure.
But in time, it probably would. Do you think? Yeah.
Yeah, it would help to a degree, but to try and use a chemical to break down the waste in your filter, I don't know. It's one of those you can buy.
I used a chemical once to get rid of a body, and it worked really well.
Apart from the hip bones.
It just turned into liquid jam.
Yeah, I mean,
Colin says there, though, He must be referring to you two with this one. Lee, the problem is these guys are dinosaurs, so they don't get ozone.
No. There you go. Seen it, used it. It's one of them. It's got its place. I can't maintain a drum filter on the farm, let alone ozone and the rest of it, mate. It's not going to happen.
It's massive. Aaron says it's massive in America. They use wetland filters. Yeah, they do, mate. Yeah. Gwen says, evening, guys and everyone. Thanks for joining us, Gwen. Colin says there, so PP gives you a higher OPR, higher than 350.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry. You need to do more research. You were stuck, Jay, the 90s.
In the 90s.
You were stuck in the 90s.
What a decade to be stuck in.
Good year.
Great
So was
year.
ozone, to be fair.
Didn't ozone come out in the 90s?
That's the unit Cole's got, a 90s ozone unit, mate.
Ah, right. So there's the old tradition, not one of these new wangled little micro
shit,
things.
mate.
Yeah.
I'm not being funny. I know a lot of people got those little ones, and none of them are using them again already.
Yeah, they stop you. You're
going to do it. You do it properly.
Cole's ozone's massive, and it looks the nuts. Actually, he's got it fucking going through a rate.
Yeah, we looked into it commercially to sterilise our mains, all the water we're using on the farm, and then we looked away from it and looked into UV, and then we looked away from that and was like polished. They're just the costings are insane.
Did you see the fish that Cole donated to the pond?
To the pond?
I didn't.
My pond? Whose pond?
Into the golf course pond.
To the golf course pond.
No.
Oh,
the big ones.
Show him, mate. Yeah, the big ones. Did you see them?
No. You said I know he was getting rid of some big ones,
mate. Yeah.
he
said, Kraft, come down, help us out, mate. Catch. I got down there. His water was murky as fuck.
Saw that ozone in there.
No, I'm not. I won't say what it is, but I rectified that within 5 minutes anyway.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh, bye.
Bye.
Taking
nice
the dogs for a quick walk.
Don't forget the cans.
He's got 2 ciders in a bag and a load of fags. She's all right.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, mate, it's like I soon rectified his murky water, but I won't say what that was because he'll go red. But yeah, mate, just putting a net in and just trying to find it was like fucking finding fish in haystacks, mate. The body on that fucker.
All those, look at them all. All those big buggers.
That one
So
as well at the bottom. That one, yeah.
He's giving you all his big fish.
These, that one.
That kahaku, that first kahaku though. If you show it coming out of the bag gas, that one there. Little body on that, mate.
Which one? Nope, not that one.
Well,
That was a grand one. That. Oh, there you go. There's a single shot with most of them on. Ozone is the future. Ozone's technically the past, mate. It's from the past. It's an old product. This is
that one.
You put them in there with all those tozo that were in there.
Yeah, fucking right. I can eat them.
Like a time of Sabbath.
Mate.
It's got a big head on that bugger. What's the one that, because I can't play the sound and he goes, it's a fish. It's a right fish.
Full of eggs, isn't it? Be spawning in there tomorrow.
Mate, they ain't stopped fucking chasing
it round.
Yeah. Even the little ones are having a go. It's great.
Give him a go. Well, so he's donating you fish and you're selling him little ones.
Well, you know,
yeah, but there's a reason behind it.
You know,
there's a reason behind it, though.
He's learnt from them fish that he's already got. He can't put any more in his pond because he's at capacity. So now he's thinning out the ones he don't want and he's putting more back in so he can learn from the next lot. You know, and hopefully upped his quality. So I ain't going to say anything more. But yeah.
I think he has. He's been chasing me for all my fish, hasn't he? Every time I bid on one, he's there, sniping me.
He fucking knows, mate.
It's okay.
He knows.
Good stuff, don't it? They've got a nice home to go to. I think a lot of people don't realise, and we have loads of people that come back with it. Oh, I bought these fish off you 20 years ago. They're now these great big things. They must be worth a fortune.
They're really not.
Sort of explain that they're not worth anything, really.
Yeah.
Kind of big, but
big and devalued.
They're just, yeah, I've got a really nice white one. It was red and white, but now it's just white. Yeah. But that's part and parcel, isn't it? Koi are only worth what they're worth on the day.
What was really nice, mate. I mean, Cole's not got he had got a puddle, but he's got a really decent pond, good amount of water. But as soon as we put the, I mean, that kahaki was 66 cm, but body to die for, fucking chunky old tail on it, mate. In there, dwarfed, but my God, he must be so much happier having so much more volume to swim around in. It was quite nice to see.
200 little toes trying to shag it.
That's all right, mate. You get fucking used to it, won't it? You know what I mean?
But yeah, it's just like everyone's got to live its life, isn't it? So if you want to be a koi keeper of a pond of nice fish, you've got to turn them over. Because every year, some of your fish will go past their best.
Well, I photographed mine up yesterday, and I'm taking 9 fish out.
Now, is that because you've moved from here, Crafty, where you were like, them fish are banging, to now you want to be up here? Or is it because those fish just aren't good enough to grace any pond?
Number one, I've got where I've added better quality fish. Like now it's like some of the others, like Parachina and stuff that I liked, I don't like anymore, so they can go. You know, others are like there's a couple of Sankey in there. There's what else are we moving on, Kel? Oh yeah, Shiro at Sori and a Kawa one. I've learnt enough out of that now that can go. You know, you see, it served its purpose for me, but now it's like I want to fin it down. So I've got about 8 to 10 fish in there, and then again, just add a couple each year over the year, so you know I can just carry on learning. But the difference is I've got access to fish there now that I can afford against these ones down here that I can afford, you know.
Yeah.
So now it's, you know,
there's a lot of people's hobby are that, but like Colin just said, I've grown them on now. I want to reset and do it again. A lot of people get that, but like Lee does, doesn't it? Lee likes to buy Tosai and grow them big. That's what he enjoys from the hobby, doesn't it? And he said it many times.
You'll find that a lot of people in the show scene, they do exactly that. Every 2 or 3 years, they'll move on the fish that ain't doing nothing, or they've showed and they're not going to take them anywhere else, or even to a point where they think they can't do anything more because their skill set's gone. So they'll go back to moving like 8, 9 fish on, resetting, and then starting again. You know, at different
it all moves on, doesn't it? The whole point is not just better fish that were good are no longer always good, be it body shape, be it colour, be it skin, whatever. Plus your eye moves on, so you see more and more stuff, and the hobby itself. So you might go to Momatera and buy his best fish 5 years ago, absolute barnstormer, grow it on for a few years, gets to a point where it's sort of stagnating, but the fish they're producing are now gone beyond that. So you sort of think, well, this was the best, but actually he's got better now. He's got fish with better structure that can grow bigger, that got better. So it's a continual, but then you get the other side of the hobby, and a lot of our customers they're like their pets. They stock their pond, and unless some die for whatever reason, that's their pond. They love them. Doesn't matter how much the colour falls off and how big, bent, ugly, whatever happens to them, but they're pets, and they will treat them as well as they would anything else. And they don't move them on. They'd never move them on because they love that. They love Mr. One Eye or that one.
That was like my old man. He was like that.
But that's how a lot of people. That's a different aspect or different side of it. So you get all sorts of people in the hobby, which is great. That's what it wants.
Yeah.
Those that actually push the fish, grow them, and keep. Most people, you tell a lot of people, I've spent £2,000 on this toes. I grew it on for 18 months, and then basically give it away. They'll be like, "What are you talking about? That's insane." Yeah. But that's what you got to do if you're a top end hobbyist. You're paying top dollar for good young fish. Some of them fail, and once you know they're failing,
it is. There ain't no good to you. No point carrying on.
You, but also anyone else knows that penny's fallen off and that fish, it ain't worth much. Yeah. If anything, really. So you've got to move. You take a loss on that one. You learn from it. You buy another.
Yeah. There's lots
of
it.
Which is what we do, Rick, isn't it?
It's a beauty of the hobby, though, isn't it? There's lots of different lots of different aspects to it. It's like you show people where you said that when you were saying, Crafter, show people assassinate koi, whereas koi keepers appreciate them, but they're not assassinating them in a sense of, they're looking for the fine detail to make sure that they can get that quality fish to do exactly what Rick's saying there and bring them on and grow them on with. Yeah. Use them in the show scene, enjoy the best out of them, take them to the best of that fish's capabilities. And then as they start to turn the corner, they move on and bring in a younger one and do it again and again and again.
Yeah, there's also people that have ponds that can only
just love them for the fun of keeping them. Yeah.
Or they reach a certain size within the pond and they know they ain't going to be able to push them any further than that.
Exactly,
because of all the other parts of the hobby with the other fish that they have housed there. It's time to move that on because it affects the rest of the fish in that pond as well. There's so many different avenues and elements to why people move on and why they do what they do. But if we all had one regime, mate, fuck me, it'd be boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Colin says there, I've got 2 fish from Rick's 2 years ago. They're 60 cm. It's easy if you know the formula. Well, I mean, everybody knows the formula, don't they? Good food, good environment, heat. That's it. That's all they need. The fish will grow. They might not grow as big as others potentially would do, but that depends on the genetics of the fish. But it's no secret, Col.
It's still hard. It's harder than people think.
It is hard. It is. I mean, somebody like myself that can't give the perfect formula ticks on slowly, whereas other people that have got slightly deeper pockets and that can enjoy the better side of the hobby can push those fish and get them to what they want, and then start the process all over again with another one and another one and another one. That's the best thing about this hobby. There's so many different levels for so many different people. It doesn't need to be expensive, or it can be as expensive as you chuffing want, can't it? You can make this and spend, 1.7 million. People go to mass extremes in it, don't they? Which is cool. That's the best bit about it.
There's also flip sides to it as well, that you could turn around and say, well, the formula to grow fish fast only works for certain varieties. Not so much certain varieties will all grow, but you'll destroy a lot of them. So for you could grow beautiful little lemon harawakis, nice and steady, and keep them looking good. You put them under 28, 30 degree heat and push them.
You'll soon end up with
Yeah.
So there's certain ponds and certain regimes that suit certain fish.
I watched them. That was a good bit about it was only a little grown show that we did, but there was one gentleman that pushed his fish, proper pushed his fish, and his carcass were crap. His show were crap. It lost all its colour completely. It was so washed out, it was ruined. And that was just because of the amount that he'd pushed it. But he did have like a 47 cm fish, whereas everybody else's were just pushing 30, 32. And he'd, blown everybody else out of water with the size that he got it to. But the counter flip reverse to that was
that's the skill in it. Some people can look in mint and grow them like that, but that only works with certain fish, certain genetics, certain varieties.
I mean, we was on about this the other day, Rick, when we spoke, weren't we? It's like you can push a fish, but where it goes, from there is like for example, I don't know, if let's say, for instance, I had a pond of toes I kept back for growing, insane heat, big feeding regime, blah, blah, and you get 40 cm out of a season. Right, when they then come to your pond, it's a complete different environmental change, which then potentially could ruin the fish.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if they're looked after, if you polish them, and that's half the problem is if you push them hard, perfect in conditions, they will look immense if the right genetics. But then they go into a lesser environment in terms of temperature, food quality, UV, the
flow rates,
colour goes backwards. So that fish you're expecting to blossom goes the wrong way.
That, I suppose, kind of links into this question. Can you suggest somewhere to find out how to prepare koi for showing? That's getting a fish, growing a fish, getting it ready for a show, and all the rest of it, transporting, etc. Thanks, Angus. Well, transporting side of it, mate, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's exactly the same way as you would pick up a fish from a shop and take it to where you're going home. You're going on a long journey, you bang in, double bag it, oxygenate it, bang it in a box, make sure it's stored correctly in your vehicle, and etc., etc. Or a tank vessel that you can put the fish in if you're moving or shipping big ones. But preparation, preparing koi for a show, those would be the elements that Colin's talking about, which would be feeding regimes that you'd feed and all the rest of it, wouldn't it?
Right. So is there somewhere to find it? Not particularly. It's a learning curve by learning from other people, but on the horizon, on the BKKS website, working with the JSC, I believe I might be wrong, but I believe that there is going to be information about certain things like that in the near future.
But you got likes of Lee that's feeding growth and a percentage of colour, and then at the end he'll push colour into them money so that it'll boost them all, drop the temperatures down. I mean, a lot of people, if you speak to them at the shows, mate, will tell you exactly what they do. I mean, they have done me when I've asked what goes into it, and you can just be prepared for a very in-depth, deep conversation with someone, and make sure you're listening, because at the end of the day, you'll get to find out what you want, mate. Most people are very forward with the information if you ask the right questions.
There's
a fish welfare thing in it. The fact that if you want to prepare a fish for show, so you prepare it months in advance in terms of the feeding regime, but the stopping feeding at least a week before. I mean, the vats at the National, I'm not going to fake Vince's. We went through the whole regime, and his vat looked as good on the Sunday as it did on the Friday.
But that's preparation.
Yeah, preparation as well. But that's the whole point of it. If your fish ain't starved to the right level before they go to the show, they're going to crap over and make a right mess in the tank.
And you can tell who has prepped and who hasn't.
Yeah,
water quality stays nice and good. We'll do this one in a minute.
Starve the fish, then, don't they, for a period, don't they, Crafty? Before, not so much starve, but they stop feeding.
Yeah, you come off food. I mean, with the fish we took, mate, I took them off food 8 days prior to the show. That's a little bit extreme, but with the volume of fish I had in the size vats we've got, it's important, because, well, ammonia is just fucking immense. If you weren't to stop that, not only do you get all the mess in the vats, but the quality of water quickly goes south, really quickly goes south. So things like that is what's important for preparation. But there's other stuff in preparation for koi shows which sort of show secrets. But Lee Hadfield, if you have a look at Lee's channel,
he did show a lot, mate, this time, didn't
he? He showed more than what he normally does.
Yeah.
But
dealing with mucus build up on fish, stuff like that.
That's it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it on here because it'll just open a can of worms. But there's even extents to, really reversing the temperatures in the water. Like keeping it at a stable 16. Or going colder, to bring fucking sumi up. It's all about understanding what you're showing, what you want to achieve, what size rates you're at, But the big one is think of skin, because that's where the biggest failure is in a koi show, because you
the
can
skin
have
quality of the fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gwen asked a quick question there. One of my fish has suddenly started purposely bumping its nose against the pond wall. No injuries at the moment. Has anyone any idea for this behaviour, please?
More information. Is it grazing? Or is it just swimming into the side of the wall?
Swimming straight into, because that's what that's how my Yamabuki started. That would just swim flat out to one side of the pond and then flat out, bang, into another. And it just did that back and forth and then had some mad fit and that were it. Game over. And I don't know whether that fish had got something, wrong up here or it were one too many wax.
Other things I would ask is, has it got cloudy eyes as well? If you're taking, has the fish lost that sense to be able to actually see? Because quite often you see that sort of behaviour with like cloudy eyes on fish. If it's grazing, it's normal, i.e., staying against the wall and swimming. It's actually eating the algae that's growing on the side of your pond. But yeah, a little bit more info, and maybe we can give a more definite answer.
Paul was saying there, look, I've got one Dainichi Kaku that's going to lose all its bene. Rest look well, so it was worth pushing hard. I mean, I guess if you're pushing hard, there's nothing to say that if you'd have gone through that full process, that fish may have lost that bene anyway, mate. I mean, if it were going to become a Shuramuji, it's always going to become a Shuramuji.
Yeah, but
to a point, you'll damage the bene quite easily, and once you damage it, you're screwed.
Yeah, there's no getting back, is there, when it comes?
No, if you're pushing 10 fish and 9 do well and 1 doesn't, what you're doing isn't particularly wrong, but different bloodlines.
Just that one particular fish that we're probably going to be that way anyway. Yeah,
and I think there's probably more research into certain bene types and certain patterns. Maybe not patterns, but the way you get almost two types of kahaku, don't you? You quite often get the big, bold 2-step, 1-step, the big ones that grow big, look good. And then you get the nice little flowery ones. They've got the delicate spots of red, which are much more prone to losing it.
Yeah, it's not. Nice. Yeah, that's totally right, mate. I've noticed that this year in some of the smaller tozai. I think I've mentioned to you before. The amount of those intricate patterns that look amazing that drop off.
That fail.
Yeah, that fail really quickly. But the ones that are going to carry on.
Sakai do massive 2-step fish. Generally, it's just there's a reason for it. They're reliable, aren't they? Push them, get them big. They look amazing. But yeah, those little flowery patterns are a lot more of an issue.
Paul says it was a flowery one. LOL. Gwen said there, not grazing crafty. Yes, Gaz, like you said, not noticed glazing eyes. Have noticed seems to do it more after feeding.
If it's coming up feeding, it's probably not that unwell.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But see, that was thing though. That Yamabuki of mine, that was the same, mate. That fed. I tell you that I know I've joked about saying this. The only time that Yamabuki was settled and right was when there were treatments in. Because every time I thought there's something not right with that fish, I'll do a few scrapes. I'll scrape that one, find the odd fluke. Scrape a few others and find flukes again. So I'll put treatment in, treat it for flukes. That's the only time that Yamabuki seemed settled. Then after you'd think, right, all calm, bit of peace and quiet, 2 weeks, and then it started doing just literally. I wish I'd recorded it. I showed Daz and Vicky and a couple of others that were in group at the time. I showed them and it was just literally swimming, wham, and just, but not, this weren't stopping, weren't slowing down. It was just charging across pond and buff.
It would indicate a sight issue to me. Is it just because it's got eyes don't mean to say you can see out of them. It's if it's not reacting to what's in front of it, then it obviously doesn't know it's there. So,
for me on that one,
go on, mate.
Try take it out and do some scrapes just to check, make sure it's not parasite issue. It might be gill irritation that it's got.
Yeah, I'm not so sure on that, to be honest, mate. I mean, by all means, do your due diligence.
Do your basics, yeah.
Just
But-
tomorrow, film it, Gwen, when it's doing it.
Yeah, if you can go in that bit, and if it's that Yamabuki did it of mine, and it battered into my Matsukawa Bake. And since it battered into that Matsukawa Bake, and it were full on, right into mid drift area, that fish has had an issue with being able to come up and keep buoyancy to when feeding. I think it damaged its swim bladder when it actually belted into side of it. Which that's the only explanation, because after that, when it battered around the pond, then it went from one side to another, to another, to another, to another, and then it rolled over onto its side and just spasmed, and like it were being electrocuted, like it were getting an electric shock.
That again, sounds to me like a health related issue.
Neurological, mate. I thought it might have been with
Too
wacky.
many nerve agents when it was little.
We've had fish, mate, that and it's always your best ones, isn't it? That good one day, folded in half the next day and swimming like a question mark, or had a stroke or a seizure or whatever, and it's never the same. We've had fish in the shop that have come to us with no eyes at all, and the thing that makes me say what I did with regards to sight is the fish with no eyes that we had. I always keep them because we got a customer that comes in that likes all the weird and wonderful bent fish and ugly looking things, and she has them. But no eyes, it would just swim into the pond. But as soon as you put feed in, it'd turn and go to food and eat.
They've got good senses, haven't they?
Yeah.
Eyes are only one side of it and one part of it, aren't they?
Yeah. It'd definitely be pike bait though if it was in a lake. You know what I mean? You wouldn't know that pike waiting for it.
Well, that's the trouble, in a natural environment. These things would all be
chomped away.
Yeah,
mate.
all koi would be chomped pretty quick.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
But yeah.
Cole says, mate, tonight is not the same without Matt. Links there, mate. He can click on it whenever he wants, if he wishes.
Yeah, you didn't even send it to me tonight, you punk.
I did.
You didn't.
And I can prove it. It's there.
Matt's looking after his pond and make sure there's no
Hang on,
predators.
let me double check now. I'll take it back until
1931, I sent you a link.
that was late, mate, wasn't it?
It's definitely late.
It was. We're on my conservatory roof at 1930. I climbed down off my roof to get it done and get it sorted.
I was driving over.
See if you can get any footage of it, Gwen. But yeah, go through your usual checks. Do some scrapes. Do a gill scrape, whatever, just in case it is something parasite wise that's annoying it or upsetting it.
Yeah, I'll do a bit of further research into that as well. See if I can come up with a definite answer.
It only does it in one area of the pond as well, apparently.
That's because it don't know that area of the pond. It must have remembered the other.
Seeing that though, we've fought for a long time that Daz's fish, the one that is given by Mick Lawson, which is called Randa. We fought for a long time that there was something not just right with that fish, but we didn't know what. Till Daz put them in, and we stayed up all night watching them, getting ready, waiting for them to spawn, till we twigged what were wrong. The fish is
bit of voyeurism, mate.
Gotta watch.
Well, it helps because at the end of the day, we found out why every time we put him in a spawn and left him to it, he weren't producing. He's blind. He couldn't see to do that. He couldn't see to keep up with the female. So as soon as a female make a dramatic turn to left, he were gone because all he could do was turn right because he's one eye blind in one eye. As soon as we took him out and hand spawned him, or hand stripped him and a female, eggs all fertile, all job lot. So we always thought, it were firing blanks, and it's
Randy
not the case.
was blank, but he was just in the wrong place
Just
at the wrong time.
the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, always getting done out. 9:30 and it's dark.
I know. I just looked outside then. So you done the same, Rick, innit?
Yeah, it is.
That's what I just done as well.
Nice, isn't it? It's cooling down. It's good.
In fact, I shut my eyes.
Oh, get ready for the pan.
No, he's not in here. Thank you.
But Simon, it's hard to catch them when you can't see them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing,
I've got a
isn't it?
great imagination.
We out of questions already. I've only just got here.
It's been quite good. There's been quite a lot tonight, mate.
All right.
I don't know if we've got any more. If let me have a quick check and make sure there was any more comments that were put in for question wise. We've got quite a lot of fish to look through though.
What was it tonight? Auction fish or something, wasn't it?
Auction
Yeah.
fish, yeah. Fish
Have you
that
got
people-
mine on your camera?
There's most probably going to be from crafties and probably from yourself, mate. Yeah, that's probably where most of them.
How did your auction go the other day, Rick?
Phenomenal, mate. You need a
Yeah.
timekeeper like old Dave on the 2 minute auction. He had 2 hours on his clock. Couldn't work out what the shit was going on. Add a minute every time I pick up and add a minute. And he's like, yeah, 157 left. I'm like, what 157 left? What's going on? Yeah, it was a comedy. It was brilliant, mate. Good fun. There's something about doing it proper live like that, you know, with no professional boundaries.
Can we set a minute timer, Rocket Boy? That's what Colin must have been watching.
What food would you recommend to feed koi? There's numbers of foods that you could go with. I mean, if you want to grow your fish and you want to get big growth on them, Rick will tell you there's a definite food for doing it, and that's sakayakara. One of the best on the market, without a doubt. It grows fish like stink. So
You had colour though, mate.
Yeah, the colour's good.
Colours. So I would say,
you still get good growth on colour too.
yeah.
I should hope so. Jesus.
Well, I didn't think it was as much because
Just don't
he only
concentrate.
puts a certain amount in towards the sinking and the growth, doesn't it?
It's no. The reason for that is that the spirulina content within sake color is strong, along with other ingredients. So it concentrates on the color of the fish, where the growth cuts back on the color aspect and forces a higher protein rate into fish as well. You know, amongst others, lot of technology in it, isn't there? You know,
First ingredients you need to find on the food then to help fish meal.
That's ingredients. Depends what you're
Yeah,
looking at.
your primary ingredients that you want in there.
not cereal, not poultry meal, not ash. Again, it all depends what you want to achieve, doesn't it? You know, but you know, you want a decent fish meal.
The problem is fish meal's the best thing. You want to see fish meal, but it's not just a cost.
Different qualities of.
There's also the aspect of the environment in there. So, which is why cereal is so highly based in foods, because it's not just cost effective. You're not stripping something out of the environment that other things need, isn't it? So but then you go on to different animals. There's a lot to it. You don't want
cereals in it, yeah.
The answer to this question is simple. What your budget can buy. That is the answer to the question, because we can do anything up to 300 quid a bag, right? The only thing, I mean, do not follow Jeff Lee's advice or
I mean, that's a piss take. Tetra sticks.
Because they are a fucking rip-off, Tetra, and I sell loads of it in the shop. But I try and steer people off of it all the time. I'm the shittest salesman for that. But ultimately, you know, there are decent foods out there, being NT Labs, Takazumi, that is an affordable food where you'll get decent quality results, but you'll never achieve, in my opinion, sake. And the only one I've seen quite close, and looking at Ryan Stoddart from Exclusively, the EA Grow Food 6 mil has been doing okay. Apparently, that's what I've heard.
I did look at that, but
that's the new one that is being feeding, isn't it? That
I've looked at that, Rick. I mean, I've only just bought it into the shop. I've just bought 20 sacks in, I think it is. So, you know.
Go on, Rick.
Why do you shake your head? There's a lot of garlic in it. I noticed the garlic content's huge.
I just checked the ingredients. If you not looked at the ingredients,
No, I went off word of mouth by someone that I respect.
It's one of them, isn't it? It just, I'm not being funny. My own personal fish, I feed all sorts of stuff, but it mostly is sake's been the best that they've had. Medicarp is another good food. JPD Medicarp is a decent food, but again, you pay for it.
You do.
And I do. I feed decent quality dog food to them as well. I'm not gonna lie, I can't lie about it.
Yeah, no,
you can buy better quality base ingredients in some of the better dog foods than you can in fish food.
Mm-hmm.
Blows my mind, but it's there. We don't use it. Obviously, we use all coppins on the farm because it is a cost-effective way of producing fish. It's, and you get what you pay for. All their different diets are geared at different aspects of a fish's life or whatever. So that's what we use for my own personal stuff. I love experimenting with foods. I love experimenting with additives and bits and pieces, and it makes a massive difference.
Yep.
Pedigree though. But you get cold compressed. Some of the dog foods, mate, the ingredients are just mind blowing for what you pay. And it's like,
you're right.
Difference you're talking about 40 quid, 40 to 50, 60 quid for a 15 kg or 20 kg bag.
Yeah, but the amount of vegetables, minerals, etc. that's in dog food is fucking insane.
Yeah, but no, you can buy proper fish meal based dog food that is like 80% fish meal based, blows everything out of the water. That you can
those
buy.
would be like your hyperallergenic dog food and stuff.
Honestly,
cereals, and stuff. Yeah.
But it's not produced for fish. It's not the right size or the right. It's not easy to use, and it's just something that people. And I think Coppins will be doing different foods soon as well for different markets. That obviously their main ethos is environmental. It's got to be sustainable. It's got to be, in the boundaries of what they can do because they're producing billions of tons of food for the entire farming industry.
Yeah, I've got a meeting with Matt on the 9th of September.
So they do what they do. They don't shy away from it. That's what it is. You can buy different food. You can do whatever. You can make your own fucking food. Just something you can do. Yeah. It's just...
You can also feed lots of different stuff, though, can't you? You can feed fruits and prawns, mussels. They'll eat much anything.
A fish's natural diet is basically crustaceans and
other fish.
Anything, can't they? From other fish through to bloodworm and algae and whatever.
One thing: every fish is a predator.
Yeah, pretty much any fish will turn on its own kind if it find it dead or somewhere. They'll sit there and eat at it.
Yeah. I'll put a nice iceberg lettuce in mine. They fucking chase that about like kids playing football, mate. Just rip it to shreds.
But a lot of that's also it's not sort of boredom. It's just something to do, isn't it? They get older stuff and they love pulling it apart and they'll eat a bit, or spit a bit out, chase it around.
Yeah,
it's just that's what they do naturally. Him at the lake, they're forever pulling bits of vegetation off and eating crap. We get them at work. They eat the blackberries off the brambles when the brambles grow in, and they're all there munching around the blackberries. It's just something.
Mine have had all types of fruit, and they've loved every bit of it. It's never even touched bottom.
You know what, mate? I put orange in mine, mate.
Yeah, that's the only one they never touched in my pond, mate.
Looked at it and looked at me as if to say, "What the fuck's that?"
Yeah, never touched it, my fish, mate. Orange.
And I left it in there, mate, until it was like solid.
7 days.
I did chop up some. I did chop up some peeled tangerine, and I chopped up the tangerine into smaller pellet-sized pieces. Did the same with strawberries, and then they ate it. But just putting in an orange floating, or like some people like size in there, a lettuce, they've never touched it when I've tried that. Never done home. Just left it. Anything that's just sat there, floating around like a big piece of slice of melon. It took them hours and hours and hours. And then once one fish went to it, then they were all on it. But yeah, I found they struggled with it, mate, to be fair.
I've just sent that over to Gaz Chris. So Brancoy Adventures at 9:43, Gaz, put something on there.
What's that? Sorry, mate.
Koi brand family koi adventures.
Is it? Yeah, and that's what it is.
Yeah, and that he's just sent that to me. I'm assuming to share, but
Let's hope so.
Just about to test the Nutrimare 360 koi food from Germany. They boasted that it's on par with Sake Hikari, but will have to be good to stand up to that test. And there's the ingredients.
I can't read that, mate.
Oh, it says there, first line is fish meal, 42%, digested grain, wheat germ, salmon oil, minerals, spirulina, krill meal, yeast products, beta-glucans, garlic powder, grapeseed. Oh, I can't tell what that one says. Hummus, black cumin oil, thyme, rosemary oil, basil oil, and oregano oil. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, iron, iodine, copper, magnesium, zinc. This is the bit where I don't get it. When you all turn around and say, we need to take all the heavy metals out of his koi ponds by filtering it all out, and then we whack it all inside them in food. It's got iron, iodine, copper, magnesium, zinc. All heavy metals.
You need all those in trace elements to survive.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you got to supply it.
There you go. That's the ingredients of it. Crude protein 40%, crude fats 12%, crude fiber 1.49%, and raw ash at 11%.
I think the thing with Sake Hikari is that Hikari that whatever that probiotic they use makes a difference. That is massive. I can buy any food like that. There's hundreds of foods like that you can buy with similar protein levels, similar stuff. But yeah.
yeah, you're right, mate. That's what I said to you before, Rick, wasn't it? It's that probiotic that they've patented it for a reason, haven't they? You know, they've found something that does wonders, and they've protected it so no one can copy it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's foods out there. I mean, like I say, Medicarb was one we used to use, which was up there with it. It was good food, but that changed. Obviously, Coppens used to manufacture that for JPN, and then under license, and then that didn't happen anymore. So I don't know. It's like a lot of these things, isn't it?
Looking at those ingredients, mate, on that Nutrimar stuff, would you put that? Well, look, I'm just looking down it now because I had a message. Someone's tried to fucking jack our cameras at work, but yeah, just looking down there, it's not. You're right. It's not sake, but probably more in line with your sort of medium, sort of budget foods, if anything. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's one of those. Even when you look at sake, I think the second ingredient of sake is wheat flour. Then bakery yeast products.
Is digested grain, wheat germ.
You know, it's not just fish meal is the main ingredient to use, but also you get different qualities of fish meal. You get different pre-digested fish meal. You get white fish meal. You get trash fish meal. You get decent meat. There's so much variation in it that the only way of testing these foods is to do what I did, and you put fish together and feed them. And yeah, over the years, I've seen so much hype about, this food. I remember someone come to sell us food back 20 years ago, this amazing new koi food that was going to do the business. And I took one look at it and I said, well, that's Scretton's bloody coarse fish food. And it's like, no, it's not. And it's like, no, that is 100%. I've seen that for donkey's years, mate. And they just put it in a posh bucket, trying to sell a cheap food at, a crazy price. And there isn't that many food manufacturing plants. So a lot of foods come from the same place.
Yeah.
There's only certain places.
Just stick another bag on it, different label, different tone.
Different stuff. At the end of the day, if you use something and you know what your water's like, you know what the fish is like, you think it's good, try something different. If it's better for you, it's better. If it's worse, it's worse. You know, our problem on the farm is obviously we haven't got the water clarity and all the rest of it that you're worrying about. You're just feeding fish a commercial food. Once they come into the shop and we can't use the Coppins grow food in the shop because it just destroys the water. It's just horrendous.
Yeah.
We use it on the farm, but we don't use it in the shop. And we tell everyone.
Just change your water green.
Well, it's the oil content.
Oil,
Like, literally destroys the water. Literally, boom.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, I can't. It's just like an oil slick. But they put obviously the oil in there for the growth. But you can't, if you've got one have a nice crystal clear pond, you don't want to be using that.
That's what we had from the Aquasource growth, mate. It just absolutely destroyed our water to a point where it like, when I say destroyed it, it was like you couldn't see the fish.
And see the fish, yeah.
Yeah.
And so the only food we basically use in the shop is the spirulina that Coppins do. That is, it works for us at a price point that we can feed plenty of it. The fish look good on it. The water clarity is all right. That's where you got to go with it, isn't it? You've got to do your own, you know, if everyone could afford sake, everyone would use it. But
yeah, that's true. Very true.
Especially you've got one little pond, is all right, isn't it? But
yeah, mate. Yeah, it's expensive.
It does. It's crazy.
What about JPD Medicap colour enhancer? Is that a good colour food?
Yeah, but you've only got to look at the price of it. It's half the price of their normal food. So suddenly you're looking at a food. Why is their colour food half the price of their normal food? Because it is just purely designed for colour, but it's literally for making a fish look brighter for a period. It's not a proper food. You know, that Medicarp is a good diet, and it's got plenty of colour enhancer in it. So their colour food being like literally half the price. What have they cut out of the colour food that's in the other food?
Yeah. So there you go.
Wonder, isn't it? It's one of them.
Stephen, don't know, mate. Don't know by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Right, what we got there? There were another one. But Brand Family Car Adventures. How much is that then? A bag, a 15 kg bag. Is it a mass saving? Is it cheaper? Is it worth trying it? Give it the trial, or
I think everything's got to be worth a trial. And if you can get lots of food, you've got to look at them, haven't you? Personally,
give them a go. You don't know till you try it, do you? What's the number one cause? I mean, I've gone onto a different food, and obviously now I'm on the feeder, and obviously getting a lot more food going into what I would have normally.
So you're finding your water's teetering.
I knew I'd get a colour tinge to it. I knew that would be the case. But what is it that makes the white foamy? I'm not talking about protein bubbles everywhere. A white froth, just where my return is, where it comes back in. I get a lot of, as soon as the food goes in, boom, it all disappears. It just disperses in a matter of seconds. As soon as the food's fed back in, and then once they finish feeding, maybe an hour or so later, it's back to white froth on top. And I was talking to Vince about it the other day, and I said, what is it that caused that? And he said, I'm sure, I'll have a word with Rick. I'm sure he's mentioned something that you can get white frothy foam from algae in your water, as well as from protein.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that have problems with, they come out in the morning, their pond's frothy, and then disperses. And through the day, it's not a problem, and it just happens diurnally. So every night it becomes frothy, every day it's clear, whatever. That's just basically an algae trying to grow in the pond and having dying off, and you get some weird scenarios with it. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure mine's protein.
Adding more food, you have a lot more protein. The problem with a lot of foods is even sake colours 42% protein. There's not many people that are going to have running ponds that are going to be utilising 42% protein on older fish, realistically. So unless you're growing those fish and you've got 20 odd degrees, you're not really using that protein efficiently. You're just creating more ammonia for what's going in. So you've got to balance up. A lot of the foods have got the right window, the right place. Like the fry foods that Coppin do, they're designed to grow a specific aged fish at a specific temperature, because that fish should be at that temperature to be being grown. So when we sell the fry foods, obviously we can't maintain, but we're in the right window. but a lot of them are 55% protein. And if your fryer sat at 16 degrees,
Yeah, they ain't going to do
in a
shit with it.
55% protein food, you're on a world of waste, pain, bent heads, gills, and all the rest of it, because you're just basically giving them something that's just no good for them.
Yeah.
You know, if those fish are at 25 degrees, you'll see a difference. They'll grow every ounce they eat. They're going to grow an ounce in body weight, but they won't do that at 16 degrees. They're just going to excrete crap, produce waste, and cause themselves no end of grief.
Yeah.
But the food is designed for the fish to be at the optimal growing point, growing temperature, growing stock density. They don't do a food for fry that are at a lower temperature and a high stock. You know, it's done for a reason, and they expect the person using it to be having the right environment for those fish, that age fish, whatever, to be getting the most out of them. And that's kind of, yeah, it's one of those difficult things, isn't it? You can make a food that's perfect, but if it's in the wrong environment, it's poison.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean, I've noticed a mass difference. A lot of my fish now have started putting a lot of body on compared to what they were, you know, in past, going with the feeder. But it's only getting, I am not feeding at all. I might just give them a treat now, like, you know, some mealworms or some, what do we call them? Silkworms. Just give them a little bit of that, and that's it. The rest of the time now, they get a feed from the feeder throughout the day, 4 times a day, and that's it. That's all I've put it onto. Just left it as is, and they started to put some size on, but I am seeing a lot of protein on top of water, which means, you know, water changes to get rid of it.
Because you can get foam control, mate.
Yeah, but for what it is, the price of it and the amount, you know, 2 applications in my pond, and it's.
But you know, sir, mate, right. So when you was down, I was putting a net over the return to stop that foam happening.
Yeah.
Right. So I give it a shot, and since I've done that, it's not foamed ever again. So my fish are just fighting for the feeder's just gonna.
Which one do you use that for that one, foam control then?
I don't know. We've got about 5 different sorts in the store, so I'll have a look which one it were, and I'll send you one up, mate. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want PSB as well, innit? Do you want PSB?
Oh yes, do yeah, please, yeah.
Just text me in the morning so I'll remember, mate, because I've got mine.
But the difference is, Gaz, you're probably now feeding with the feeder double or treble what you were. And if you change the food as well.
I haven't gone stupid with it. I've tried to do it through the process.
Assholes, mate. Fucking.
I'm not. I'm
just
seriously
a couple of grains an hour.
I'm not.
A little pellet.
I'll give it a little bit when I first put it on, and it were only on for feeding for 2 seconds, and then I've gone up to 3 seconds, and now it's up to 4 seconds. So there ain't that much food coming out of a feeder in 4 seconds, but I didn't want to rush straight in and get shitloads going in, and then end up having an ammonia spike because my filters. I wanted to build the filters up and let them build up before I did so, which is what I were advised to do. So I did exactly. And then I was also told, and don't be going out there feeding in between, which is what I've not done. So I don't want to leave them to it.
So that foam that Rick was on about was.
The dog's also come back.
You go. What's the matter?
PSP for up north, Koi Pond 2, Crafter. I'll take you.
The foam I had, I swear to God, I'd get up in the morning, right, look out at the pond, and there'd be foam over by me skimmer, mate. Well, down in the corner of the skimmer. That was like Marge Simpson's hair, man.
No, I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not getting big bubbly foam. I'm not getting that. I'm just getting like a white. If I switch the air off and knock the return off, it literally just disperses in no time. And it's not big mass bubbles. I'll film it in the morning. I'll show you.
I'll chuck you some foam from some foam controlling, and just have a little dose and give yourself a video on it.
Yeah, see what it does.
Make sure you promote perfect static.
Promote it right.
That's for all you foamy pond people out there.
As long as it does the job, she's doing me titting. It looks, but it's only by the return.
It will be that because that's where the water's being folded up and your bubbles.
Yeah.
Like when you're pouring the washing up liquid, it comes.
Yeah,
up
but I've 6 aeration, six air stones in the pond. 2 down by the return, 2 halfway, 2 down the opposite end. The 2 halfway and 2 down the opposite end. There ain't no foam down over half a pond at all. It don't go down there. It just literally stops there.
Yeah, but if it's imagine it's some kind of like something on the surface. So your air's coming up and doing that. It's not affecting the surface as much. But if it's on the surface like an oily scum, and the water that returns in is rolling that in and rolling it in all the time to create bubbles, the opposite way round. So that water's going in, being encapsulated, so you get bubbles.
And that's
your air's doing the opposite way round.
When
So
you look at what it does, right? The foam control brings back a balance on the pH, which allows for the water and the gas exchange to take place properly. That prevents that bubble building. What Rick was just saying. You put light on, please, because you've just turned that one off, and I'm sat in the dark now.
Marek said there, I feed very heavy with sake. Never any foam, protein scum. Is this because of ceramic media in a shower?
No idea. It's because your fish eat it all.
Well, that could be a part of the problem, I know, mate. Sarah says, Gaz, which automatic feeder are you using? I am using, oh shit, I shall tell you in a minute when Rick comes back because it's the same one he's got at his farm. The new little ones. Let me see if I can find it. I might be quicker than Rick is returning.
I like the JBL ones personally.
I know there's some that can tell me straight away.
Mate, you look autistic there. Your eyes are going like the clappers. You look like Rain Man.
It's the 10-litre automatic fish feeder, pond fish feeder outdoor. It's basically that one.
Put a link in your description, son.
I shall show you that one.
You know I worry about certain people.
I've got 2 JBL left at the shop going for $299.99 last 2. Anyone's interested?
This is pretty good. It's all right. Does the job. Feeds fish. That was my problem because I was coming home. There we go. That's what we want. I was coming home and obviously I was feeding in the morning. Couldn't feed them all day because they were at work all day. The London Auto. There you go, Vince. Thank you. The London Auto feeder. But it looks exactly the same as that. So there's obviously different brands, but it's identical to that one I just showed you. But that's the make that I'm using.
You're a mean mother, making them do things.
I am.
Question is a question, and it's a relevant question, Colin. If the people that don't have one would like to get one, it's always relevant to those that don't know. It's like saying any question, really. If you don't know the answer to it, it's a relevant question.
Actually,
Always
feeder
relevant.
feeder is a feeder, but there's a lot on the market.
There is a hell of a lot of market.
And some are fucking dog wank,
Yeah.
and others are a lot better. It depends, again, on your budget. And number 2, what you can put in it, because the JBL one's a 25 litre. The one that Gaz just shown is 10 litre. My fish are fucking giving me the jeebies, man. They are thrashing. And there's one that's just come out from Clover that has got loads of different like shit that you put on it that is like 20-30 quid cheaper than a JBL, but only does like 8 feeds a day. You know, how many feeds can yours do a day?
That can do 4, but there's 2 models to it. You can get one that does 8 and one that does 4.
Yeah, so JBLs do 8. The Cloverleaf ones do 8. Like the one that you said do a 4 and 8. JBL do up to 24, but some will deliver in seconds, some will deliver in volume.
Volume as weight wise.
But then you also have to then work out, JBL does 24. But then you have to then work out the size of the pellet that you're using on the volume, because you have to control the amount of feed that you get. Ones with seconds do a better control, right? But again, different size pellets gives different amount of feed volume. So you still have to do a little bit of work on it to work out. And then you've got the Evolution Aqua ones. They do seconds, but the way they deliver is just off a slide into the water, where JBL scatter, your scatter as well, don't they?
That scatters, and it'll literally, its maximum distance is 6 foot. It'll literally just gets across Whitford Pond. But it spreads as well as.
But to be fair, those little black Dalek ones.
Yeah, same one as that.
But they are, honestly, for the money, they're not bad.
No,
You've been
that's what I'm saying
on the farm.
The EA ones are okay, but the batteries inside them tend to fail quite often. Where the JBL ones are backed up with solar power. Well, they're backed up with mains, but solar power driven as well.
Yeah. So we can't have on the farms. We can't have mate. The clockwork ones are the best, but the trouble is the clockwork ones, they drop food.
Yeah,
and you end up with balls of fish.
Yeah, and smashing
damage each other and any wildlife. So I do. The spinning ones are pretty good. They almost clean themselves because it's a brush that spins and fires the food out.
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
I've only had
JBL ones are on a corkscrew, and I've noticed using the one that I've got. Well, I've got 2 now because I've just renewed it. But the corkscrew at the bottom, if it gets damp, the pellet can stick to it, and then it starts to congregate, and then before you know it, you're feeding different amounts, and you've got a big full of dirty fucking pellet up there.
That's the problem. Because obviously fish splash water in, don't they?
Yeah, that's it, mate. And they know where it comes from and all. They sit there.
Oh, yeah, it don't take long for them to work it out either, does it? Yeah. I've seen mine queuing now, waiting like 10 minutes before it, waiting for it to come out. And they know exactly when it's going to go off. It's nuts. But that one has got a little shoe protection, which stops it from getting wet. I've only had one problem with it. And I thought, what the chuffing hell's that noise? Why does feeder sound like that? And when I went down to have a look in feeder, there was a snail that had gone in, just closed up and sat underneath the little feed right aside that roller. And it just clamped down, closed off, because obviously it was a dry place to get out with, out of sunlight. And I'm thinking, what the freaking hell's that noise? Why is there no food coming out? And then when I bent down and looked, pulled out this snail that had just settled there for the night.
Did it have a shiny shell?
It was.
Gone through a car.
Polish patch on the side of it. It just shitloads of food just fell out from obviously what it had been stopping from coming out. But yeah. For a cheap little feeder, they're pretty damn good. They do the job.
Yeah, I've got a superfish one as well on over the top of the little grow-on pond, a little hospital tank grow-on pond. But again, the superfish one, it's had its moments where it's just dumped the fucking whole lot of pellet in there as well, which you don't want because that will kill your fish quite quickly.
Yeah.
Personally, I think unless you're growing fish properly, if you use a feeder, you lose all that interaction with your fish.
You do, Rick. You do a hell of a lot, mate. I've noticed it already. They just don't want no to do with you when you feed. They're not interested.
Go out there, they're like, piss off. I'm fat and I'm full.
Yeah, they're not bothered, are they? They're not interested in you at all. Years gone by.
You've got to bring your feeding regime down a little bit. So when you do go out there, they're still hungry and searching for it.
Maybe. I just wanted to get some growth into them because it's been so long and they've not been that long, but I want to get some growth into the ones that, that I do like when I do move a few more on.
The problem is you'll find if your average ambient temperature, say 18 degrees through the summer, you're basically what you can do is build up big. They get big bodies, so they get fat, but you're not going to get they're going to start looking like they've got little heads and big bodies rather than nice proportional, because if you ain't got the temperature, you just end up like this time of year on the farm. You walk around and everything looks fat with small heads because we haven't had high enough temperatures and they've all been on the food.
Bit like me.
Fat with a small head. Now we've got the temperature, that bone structure grows, the head will come out and they'll change shape a bit. But if you haven't got that temperature window to do that, and people that grow the fish under heat quite often find they struggle to get the bodies on fish. They get longer and longer, but they can't get the bodies on them.
Yeah,
the temperature's too high. So you need a balance. Not say a balance, but that's almost impossible to do. How do you make your pond 26 degrees?
Yeah, that's. I mean, if it's the other way, I'd just feed in the morning and feed in the night, and they just don't get no growth, and they just stay small. But they're not. They progressively get a couple of cm a year. That's it.
But yeah, so you'll benefit from it. I'm not saying you won't. Of course you will. But you perhaps want to be setting a feeder to only feed at lunchtime. So you can do the morning feed and you can do the evening feed and enjoy them and see them. But they're also getting those feeds when you're not there.
That's exactly what I meant by changing your feeding regime.
Right.
The volumes.
Well, you say that, Colin. How often would you throw prawns in? Because I mean, I have been throwing prawns in, and I've been getting a 200 kilogram bag, and I've been doing 50 kilograms.
200 kilograms? Fuck me, man. That's
a lot of prawns.
That's 200 grams.
Fucking the Atlantic.
200 gram bag, and I've just split it into 4 feeds and just given them once or twice a week. That's it. But they go mad over them. They smash the shit out of them.
See, my fish don't touch prawns. All mussels.
Still mostly water, isn't it? And this is the thing, you might feed 50 grams of prawn, but that's 45 grams of water.
Yeah.
So dry prawn, no?
You can, or you can get prawn powder that's in your fish food or whatever. But this is where when you're growing fish sort of commercially and you're using a high quality, high protein food and you're putting it in them, you see these centimetre a week growth rates that just blow people's mind. They're like, well, that's not real. That's not right. But they get in that window and they will do it. And it is mad to see, but it is. Okay, the formula is easy. 28 degrees, X amount of feeds a day, X amount of stock density, water quality. But actually to do that is a nightmare.
And it's expensive.
And it's expensive, but it's still a nightmare to have the right stock density, the right amount of fish to compete without being overstocked, to have that temperature where they're not going to die of lack of oxygen, where they're going to get the full growth. And
then when they do get the growth, they then start to stack in the pond, which then affects your water quality again. Yeah. Which means then you have to thin out, etc., etc.
Mine will eat out like that. Mussels, prawns, calamari, you name it, squid. They'll have it all.
I'm coming around yours, Gaz, next time. When I do a barbecue, I'll give you burgers. I'm coming yours. I want mussels, calamari, squid.
Yeah, isn't it?
You can get the bags of them from like Aldi. It's like a big frozen bag of them. It's only like, I don't know, maybe £2 odd, $2.50 or $3.50 or something like that for a massive bag of them. Just take them all out, chop them all
90% water.
throw them in. Yeah, but Iceland mixed fish and prawn. There you go.
There's that message from Claude, or that question from Claude.
They want the cheapest cheapest solar air pump just in case for when I go away for 2 nights.
Okay, so I'll answer this. Air pump, right? So we sell these down the shop, and I've done a little experiment with them because I wanted to understand how they worked. Unless you go into 300 to 400 quid, right? You're not getting anything that will pump any air out unless it has got direct sunlight. And they're so intermittent with how they work.
Yeah, it does.
Actually, it's just a load of shite, mate. It's all right for a goldfish.
You don't need air when there's sunlight, do you? You only need air when there's no sunlight.
The best one.
But that's the other flip. So, but I just wanted to see if it would hold if there was a battery in it that it held and constantly worked until it doesn't. It literally works just with sunlight. So it really
does with the 12-hour battery backup. So if you've got a PowerPoint and your power cuts, there's a 12-hour battery backup built into the pump that kicks in should the pump lose its mains power.
But it's only for 12 hours. So if you're going away for a week,
going away for 2 nights,
But you know, Sod's law will kick in that it will have a power cut the first night you go away.
Yeah, but we just bought a load of these, and they are the backup power ones, so that they're continually charging when they're on electric.
Yeah.
So they run on electric. As soon as your mains go, they run on the battery. So you got 8 to 12 hours full pumping as they are.
Working
back on, they just recharge.
Got you.
So
how much do you pay for them?
190 quid for the double 6
Be careful.
ones, whatever they are. I don't know. I've had a bit of issue getting them, but yeah,
For the double ended.
Haley do them. They're not crazy money. They're not massively powerful air pumps. They're quite a big unit.
Like a
But
60,
that's backup for us.
60 litres or something.
I think they're 2 60-litre pumps in a unit with the battery.
George has got one, hasn't he? He showed us one in his filter house, didn't he, the other week when we were looking at his ponds and what have you. Inside his filter house was a battery backup air pump system. You remember? Yeah, you slept since then, haven't you? Heavy weekend. Yeah. You not remember other week when both of us we were on here on the GKP when we did the pond and filter houses and he showed it. He had one with a backup system, and I'm sure that were same as that.
Yeah,
I think I was doing that delivery that night. I don't remember seeing that.
See if I can find it.
I'm pretty sure Gary Gatwick does them. He's the one that showed me. I mean, he's like, "Why don't you use these all around the farm?" And I'm like, "I would if I knew about them."
Yeah,
such a simple idea. Why is it such a pain to get hold of? But yeah, they're not dear. They're probably twice the price of a normal air pump, but they'll save you fish.
Yeah.
Let's get into a bit of koi appreciation now.
Hang on, before you do, Gaz, the video I sent you with the picture.
Yes.
Right, show the video first, because it was something that I wanted to cover with regards to big fish pattern.
Big fish, little fish. So we got this one.
Okay, so I sold. This is a Matsue Kahaku that I sold on Tuesday. Right, and I mentioned that it's a big fish pattern.
Yeah.
Right? And if you have a look from top down now, you see a hell of a lot of Benny. All right, and to my dismay, yesterday I was just doing a bit of my own koi nerding, looking through pictures and champion fish, etc. And then I come across this picture that Gaz is about to put up, the one to the right of the video, Gaz.
Come on, Gaz.
Right, and again with this, you can see how the shiroji has started to encompass around the edges, and you can see more of it. And that's when we say big fish pattern, and when you start to see the development of the koi going from this sort of body shape to that body shape, you've got to imagine what happens with a picture. And you know what pissed me off? If you go back to the video, Gaz, it's almost a fucking identical pattern.
It is, yeah.
It's got an S. It's got the break down there, mate. It's got that big bit in the middle, and then a break across the tail tube, man. So as that grows, that'll pull away, that'll come round, and actually,
it's a nice fish.
It's nice. All he's got to do is grow it to 90 cm and keep looking mint, and it'll be fine.
But that's the thing. But when you say big fish pattern, that's exactly what I'm saying. You can see more of the shiroji when you get more body.
Was that on that one on one of your auctions?
It was on.
It was on Tuesday night.
Yeah, struggled to
deer goggles you were looking through.
Next time you need to postpone it till I'm in.
Mate, it's, I think that went for 210 quid, mate.
210 quid.
Do you remember? Because we were talking about the keyword on this flank here. Look at the keyword on that, mate. Fucking banging. Down. But yeah, it was just a great comparison, because I remember seeing that and thinking, fucking one of my fish look like that.
One of my fish look like that.
Like the pattern. The pattern looks, the S on it. Fucking.
Yeah.
No. So I thought I'd just share that, because I was like a bit pissed I sold it for 210 quid. I'm honest.
Be all right, though.
It's a very similar pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, it's extremely similar. bearing in mind that bit at the back, when that grows out, it'll pull away. So you're going to get more shiroji in there as well.
So you're going to give him his money back if it doesn't do 90 cm in 5 years?
Oh my fuck! It's down to him. He's got to throw some sake down it and keep it on 24-degree heat. Oh fuck me, man! I'm getting older. It's sat on my leg and now I've got dead leg.
What do you mean getting? Not getting old, mate. It's not a case of getting.
You got old and then got young again.
getting old. Right then, Tony Barker to kick us off with his first fish.
Oh no, don't do it.
No,
Jeff,
mate,
Fish it is.
I'm looking forward to this, man.
and Jeff says mine still went in the bargain bin. Didn't Jeff? Well, it did, but it didn't. It was nothing more than an experiment. You ain't going to live that one down, Crafter. I'll pour us a glass, but I'm gagged. In fact, bear with me 2 seconds. I will put this first one up. Gwen says she'll have to say good night. Battery's on 15%.
Plug it in, Gwen.
Plug it in, Gwen. I've got my
It's solar.
A solar phone, mate.
That's what you need.
That'll be ace. Means that the missus won't be able to get you out of the pub at night. It'd be great.
Right, so this is the first one from Tony Barker.
Oh, he's a bell end, isn't he?
So that's what he bought.
Is there a reason you don't like this fish, Rick?
I tried to win this fish.
I know you
It's
did. Yeah.
It is one of the ones on Ricky's auction. I was like, actually, I want that. I like that. And yeah.
And this is what it become.
No, it's not.
No. That's fucking
his-
That's
his-
not it.
It can't be.
It's not it, mate. Look at the button nose on it, mate.
How about?
He showed me a picture of that not that long ago. It was looking mint.
Sankey Breedy
Well, let's have a look at the Benny in the pack.
18 cm. But it is.
Benny-
No, it's got
Benny
penny in
in
the
the
pack. The other one didn't have, did it?
Well, it also had Coochie Benny on it as well,
It's got
mate.
Coochie
There's
Benny
no
on
Benny.
those. What are you doing to us, Tony? I don't know how these have actually come through.
Click on the comment underneath, mate. There you go.
There we go.
Oh, there you go, mate.
That's what it become. So while you just feel sick, for a second, I'm going to just go grab a drink, and you can talk yourself through that one, Rick. What you could have had.
Yeah, I know. I did. It was one of the few that I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
that's got it all, mate, isn't it? Pattern development's fucking super impressive. Was that? Is Tony watching? But I think that was what's that? A year? About a year?
It was probably only about a year ago. Yeah, I can't remember. Which it was a few £100. It wasn't crazy money, but it wasn't cheap. But yeah, it was nice. You keep it, Tony. Enjoy it.
Tony's just bought a couple off me actually when he was down at the weekend. So yeah,
Yeah, he kept teasing me with it.
I can see why though, mate. That's fucking banging, isn't it?
Yeah, it was just one of those fish. It's like, actually, I'm bidding on that. That's worth a look at. But obviously, didn't bid enough, did I?
But yeah, but there's always that element of the unknown, mate. So that's why I thought this would be quite interesting. But look at the Sumi placement on that, mate. That is fucking epic. And you know that just went in the rejection bin because of the pecky, like look at the Benny in the pecs, right? People would turn their nose up at a toes eye because of that. Look at that.
It's proceeding in nicely.
Fucking looks the nuts, mate.
It's female, big.
Yeah, it has receded, hasn't it?
Quality.
That in the peck.
Live with it. Nice, long, strong head.
It's matching, though. It's the same.
But Tony did say he's going to donate it to me when he's done with it.
It
Mate,
did,
nice
didn't it?
skin on that as well. Tony
It's
can
nice.
grow a fish really well as well.
So that's his first one. Then we've got the second one, which is this one, Dainichi Sankey, 28 centimeters, April 2023, which became
There you go. There's a perfect example of baby sumi, isn't it? And how it's pulled back and refined.
Big old body on it, isn't it?
Yeah, chunky.
It can grow a good fish, can it?
Yeah, it can.
It's got
Is
some
Tony in the comments?
I don't know. Don't think so. Tony, are you there?
Is anybody out there? I still prefer the first one though.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, well, get your pen and paper out now.
Well, that's got to be a winner for me. He's been teasing me that
Oh, he
for
is. There
12
you go.
months.
He is in the comments. Yes, he's here. That's it. Come on, let's have the official markers downers because I'm just a clicker man.
What I want to know is your pond on heat? Obviously is.
Yeah, it is.
And
Definitely
do
on
you use
colour.
auto feeder and sake?
Very nice. Again, Tony's putting a fair few though, I do believe. Oh, he has one. Now this one comes. The downside of buying on an auction, online auction, I bid on the left picture and the koi came 2 days later looking like the right picture, very skinny, 28 cm. But do we have
now?
But do we have a finished product, Tony? That's what we want to know. No way. Excuse me. And now it looks like that.
You rescued it.
That bulked up, didn't it?
That's not bad.
Tony's your man who you want to go see. Yes, yes, and yes, he says, Crafty. Yes, he is on a feeder.
Yeah,
he is on heat. And he is feeding
on
sake.
Yeah. And that'd be quite interesting if we used to do that, to just see unheated food type. You know, how many times a day are you feeding, Tone? I reckon
He's
feeding.
He's got an auto feeder 8 times a day.
8 times. That's what I think. That's what I was about to say. 8 times a day, I reckon.
I still think that I like that, but that just needs a big chunk of sumi on the shoulder, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just missing that last third.
There's a statement there from Sarah says, I bought my koi for myself to enjoy, and I'm a big fan of butterfly koi. Just
Good
like
on you.
Twisted Koi. He is as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I was considering getting some Nisai butterfly because there might be a market for them.
Oh, what's this one going to look like? 8 times on a feeder plus a bit more.
Christ alive, we got him nailed.
And look how, look at that. It was just easy to work out, weren't it?
Look at this. That's banging and all.
Sankies, mate, I tell you, way ahead.
Sankies, that's a show, isn't it?
No,
Come on, Crafty.
no.
This is still the first one for me.
No.
If that's a shower, I mean, if that's a Sankey, it's got a lot of Tajeme. If it has, that's more guru in it.
It's
all,
all,
look at the gill plate.
as well. I don't know. Split opinion.
Let's go with the owner. See what Tony says. Sankey, fucking abomination. Oh dear.
I like the way I've just been called.
It's got black on the head. It's got black around the mouth, the side of its mouth, and in the belly plate at the front of the head.
Tamora Showa.
Tamora Showa.
Okay, it's very low. It's very grainy. In fact, I can see it now.
Yeah, you want to see it when it turns its head that low.
Yeah, I didn't see it before.
That size of the nose.
That's
So we've got Jeff Lee's bought this one.
Upside down, mate.
Yeah.
It's from down under. Got it from Australia, shipped in. And it's Ginrin Hyosure, breeder is Kase, age Tosai 20 cm, gender unknown. And it now looks like
Gender unknown.
Gender unknown. It now looks like this, which is 25 cm.
It's like a butterfly in it. Its fins are massive. Is that the angle? That tail looks huge, man.
It does look big on the tail, doesn't it? That.
What did it start out as?
I'm just trying to see. We're just going to go
20
back and see.
centimetre toes eye.
Yeah, 20 cm.
Yeah, so unheated.
No, it's heated
It's heated.
in 5 cm. I don't. How long you had it, Jeff? That one. If you still have one.
I think that's all in the tail, mate. It's grown. That's not bad.
Poor old Jeff Lees, man. You can't be doing that to the bloke.
No, mate. He's got some banging fish. Don't give me none of that.
It has. 22 cm.
That'll have done better. Come on.
Ginrin Kiyotsura.
Mary,
that's 22
that's
there.
going to have done better. Come on.
No hero. That's got to have grown more. It's definitely bodied out.
There you go.
26. That's bodied out. Unheated grow. Oh, this is in its unheated grow on.
There you go. Thought so.
Quite nice.
So
Isn't it?
4 cm.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
good, mate. Look at
unheated
the
grow
sumi
on,
on that.
but it's put a lot more body on, hasn't it? A hell of a lot more body.
Good sumi on that as well. Very good.
I'm getting more and more tempted to breed some of these things. How's mine doing, Crafty?
That's
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
well,
sure.
mate. I've done a check on it today, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, it's still
Has
alive.
he got a pond to himself?
It's still alive, mate.
Oh, yeah. Toe side, 28 cm. Sank it. And now looks like this.
Okay, I've never seen any Oya go Sankey, so this would be quite
know-
interesting.
I've got some nice ones, mate.
It's not bad, that is it?
That's nice.
It's got the
What size is that at now then?
30-ish.
yeah, about 30.
Are you
30.
about bang on there for fit? Oh my god. Dog's just had short back and size, man. Don't look like a cockapoo anymore, he just looks like a cock.
Sumi,
What's
a
that?
bit,
What's
Sumi
it
tight,
Yeah.
a bit more sided, bit more tidy. That's Sumi.
Jeff
Dang.
Lee's been shopping everywhere, man.
No,
Now-
just a leak by the looks of it.
Now
It's
it's now
not.
35 cm. No, he's got some from it.
I know he has, man. I'm just winding him up.
So we've got Kahaku, Maro,
You're a hero again.
Hero. 20 cm this one was. Oh, there's one of that one, Jeff.
That one
the
there.
same?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's
one
it.
below it. Yeah.
Now 25.
Is that the same one? It's got that weird
Not
shimmy.
sure.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, yeah. It's got the little dot on the nose. I don't think that's on the fish. I think that is that on the fish or on the water?
I think that's the water in it. I don't think
Yeah, it
that's
looks like a seed, doesn't it?
So we could go in depth with that. That type of keyword on that is
yeah, that is the same fish. That is definitely it.
it's got that. It's too flowery on the back. That's the sort of one that's just going to break up. For me, if I look at that, I'm not growing that on.
Yeah, through fear of it being gone.
There's something about it looks pretty, but there's something about them that just nightmare.
Oh my god. He looks like a rat. What's she done to you?
Maybe it is a rat.
He's got a funny head, hasn't he? He ain't got no hair on it. God damn, he looks weird. Sorry. I should show that. That was funny.
You get done for animal abuse, mate.
We give him a coat, right short coat, mate, because he's just panting like crazy. He's red
Right,
hot.
neat.
It's too hot
Heat
for him.
waves over, he'll be right tomorrow.
Yeah, it'd be good. Black Magic, toe sight, 24 cm. And this is what it looks like now.
Black Magic, Black Zeus, Pina Colada.
35 cm.
Grown right, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to know. Some of those bits are in the water or on the fish, and there's flecks.
I mean, it's water. Those little bits. There's little flecks in water everywhere. Look.
That's grown the most out of all of them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 35, and the original one was 24.
I think these were a bit
9
of a
cm growth.
Of all of Jeff's fish, mate, I think the Kiyetsuri from our hero, the Gimrin Kiyetsuri, is the best.
Perfect Aquatics. That's the same fish in it. My bad. Sorry.
Same fish as what?
What we
That
just
one.
looked.
The Yamabuki. That's the Yamabuki you got on your, which was 20 odd cm.
That's done all right then, isn't it?
And that's now 45 cm. And that's the one that ANC said he'll not get to.
Oh, that's
cm
right. Yeah, I remember that now.
by the
Yeah,
end of the year.
it was like that. Yeah, and so I said, actually, what a load of bullshit. You certainly can.
It certainly
will.
has.
Well done, Jeff.
Oh, Red Kajaku from New Forest Koi. That's the one that from the auction from the charity night.
Kind
Look at
of
that,
was an
mate.
auction, wasn't it? Different style of auction.
Oh, from
but
the charity night. Yeah, that's right. I remember it now. That fucking honeycombing. I love it. You can't beat that. That is
Oh,
just
it's nice, that, Rick, isn't it?
it is banging fish. It's even better when you see it from the front.
Yeah, I saw it coming.
Yeah. He's just showing it its arse, mate.
Oh my God, show me the groom girls. Sonny, not taking piss out of him, he's just been shaved short, hasn't
You don't want to be on camera.
he? He's gone.
That's what
It's kind of not-
heard
no
his little
one's
feet
seen it.
run off.
He needed it, man. He's been sweating his butt off, man. He does look a different face in well, all his big fluffy body though. It does look different in shape, everything. Suri from Perfect Aquatics. That's the after. That's the before.
Yeah, it's quite a good potential, isn't it?
And this is it now. Bloody hell. That's put some size on.
Yeah, it's good. Bit more to come over that fucking nose as well.
Oh, it's staying in here now because vacuum cleaner's out.
What's that? 35
Don't like the
cm
vacuum
now?
cleaner, but he's all right with lawnmower.
Yeah, 37 cm. 35, there you go.
35.
Yeah, that's good, man. That. Well done.
So this one, we've seen these. Yeah,
We haven't done them once. We haven't done them once, have we? Have we done them?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
they're-
Black Magic. That's the
Videos from
Sanka.
there.
That's the Ginrin.
Oh, yeah, I see, yeah.
And this one is Rick Howarth.
With mine on it. Yeah.
Yeah, Tuber bought from one of Crafty's auctions. Was 22 cm, now
At
27
the end of
cm.
May. Yeah, he's done fucking wonders with this since he's only had it a few weeks. Look at the body on that now. Come on, son.
That's bulked.
I remember that there was two people going for that, and it was just going further and further and further. Yeah, that's bodied up good.
Short back and sides roof. That's where he's had. That's where he needed though.
Was that bow on a slope? He's trying to swim uphill.
Swimming uphill. Yeah, he's got it. It's how
Put
he,
some water in your bowl, you tight fucker.
it's how he gets power into his fish. He puts them up so they're swimming uphill, like so they're constantly on a workout. It's like the bowl of treadmill.
The travelator.
And ticklish is lovely, isn't it, on the scales, isn't it?
When it
When it
arrived,
arrived,
Oh yeah, ours filled out.
Look at that. Better colour, better body. Beautiful.
He looks athletic.
Better skin. The food
The
cream's
dog
done
is
well
like
as well,
Spiano
hasn't it?
around
Treat,
the
isn't
house.
it?
Yeah, that's really done well, hasn't it? You know, exactly. You know, when you look at the development, you go back on that other one,
It does
guys, in a
look
minute, mate. Look, the scalation on its own has just developed a fucking treat. Look,
It has. Look at Robin.
yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that has bodied out, hasn't it? I will send
Yeah.
a picture of the Achiever I bought for 20 quid tomorrow, guys. Right. Oh. Nathan Brosters, Izuma, Sankey, approximately 35 cm.
Well, don't people put water in your bowls, man?
Wow. It's got a massive long head on it, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
it
got
looks,
a big head, hasn't it?
looks quite bent as well. The head.
Nah.
Be interesting to see where it goes. Did we have a before and after, Gus, or
Let's see if it's in the.
no?
Oh, okay.
We don't know if that's before or after, then, do we?
This is the after. Turned into Ginrin Asagi.
Ikarashi.
I think we need the before and afters, don't we?
Yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
nice. Wouldn't it?
Better to see what it's changed and how it's developed, isn't it? He's sat waiting at treats cupboard now, tapping on the door so he can get his treat.
Did you show my bargain bin Kahaku?
The bargain bin Kahaku. They only had one Kahaku, didn't you?
Yeah, that one there.
That one
Is that
there.
the same one? Look like the same fish.
No, that's not it. That's not the one. That's not the bargain bin one. I think it's further down, Jeff. Your new one that you got today. Well, that you posted earlier today.
This one there.
Sarah got it. That's nice.
Dark. It's got a great body, but again, we need
Yeah.
to see where it started.
A Ginrin one of mine's gone as dark as that, Crafter.
Say that again.
The Ginrin one of mine's gone as dark as that.
Is it really?
In sunlight, it's really darkened up, yeah. But the Gin is popping on it. It's bright with the Gins overlay. Still got a good sparkle to it.
You could have bowled that up, couldn't you?
I could, yeah. But I'd had to take my net off, and that's just a pain in the butt. That's a very nice fish and all, mate. Right, so we've got Marcus's Kage, a Ginrin Kage Shuro Asuri 33 cm, 25th of the 4th, 2024. And then
He's got a reply on that as well.
let's have a look at it afterwards. That's a nice looking fish.
Coda. Hmm.
It's almost not even khaki, is it? It's like
Whoops.
that didn't go where I was expecting.
No, that
That's
looks.
the cargo for you, though, Rick, isn't it?
I tell you what that looks like. We've done a load of Matsukawa Bake Shiro crosses. They look like I've got thousands of them, and they look proper promising, but not quite.
You know. It's one of
You know
them.
what I mean? They look.
It's
like
bodied out well, isn't it?
It looks
Yeah.
the gin's amazing, the body's good. That just needs a bit more if that colour over the next year does what
We'll
you
see
want.
where that goes in a year's time.
It's
Marcus.
gone
It doesn't.
from 33 to 42. So that's from the 25th of the 4th, 24 to the 1st of the 8th, 24.
3 months.
So 4 months.
Free.
That's great. Yeah.
That's some bloody decent growth.
But that's koi in it. So the sumi you want to get better has gone down a bit, and the background's
But would it have pulled back in the heat at the moment? And will it intensify when the water cools?
we'll find out, won't we?
Marcus
In a year's
again.
time.
NND Kikikuru.
Yep.
Could do quite a lot, couldn't it?
What were its size? 22 cm. And now it's 31 cm.
Darkened up.
Oh, that looks nice. I like that.
Scalation on that's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah,
That is lovely, isn't it? Scaled down, that dorsal's mint. I like that one, mate. That's something a bit different.
I think that's got another year of improvement as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sumi sort of turns into go faster stripes.
Yeah. Real good luster in the skin. Nice metallic. Yeah, nice fish.
Simon's Perfect Aquatics was 21 cm. Ginrin Hitsure now 27 cm.
I remember this fish.
Yeah,
Fuck me. Wow.
that's put some size on.
Fucking put some body on, innit?
Hasn't it?
You know something, mate. I didn't think this fish would do well in the auction. And it did. You remember, I said I'm surprised that it went like it did. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Well done, mate. You've done well on that.
Do we have a
Yeah,
reply?
Yeah.
We've got
No, let's keep that going, man. Wanted to see that fish swimming towards us then.
That's it. There's a little one, isn't it? No,
28, 26, yeah.
just a hand.
Yeah, pick up that video where you left off, guys. Just go back a couple of seconds for me, please, if you could. Yeah, just before that bit as it was swimming down. That's what I want to see.
Got a nice big build on it, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Look at that.
That's not bad stuff.
Well done, Si, mate.
That is nice. That.
You're proud on that, mate. That's fucking real good. Well done.
Some good body on that.
Trouble is, if that was a Shiro, you go, oh, if that sumi comes through the head,
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You don't want it to on that, do you?
it's not going on that.
That's turned out a nice fish, mate. Not meaning that it wasn't beforehand, I just mean that's.
What old crafty's fish are dodgy.
Don't change what I said.
Actually, we've done quite all right as it goes. The fish have turned out quite good.
Is this an after picture?
It looks like it. No?
We've just got as they are. It was 15 cm when received, now 37 cm.
New Forest koi from Koi Wholesale. Oh, was this that little batch that you sold, Rick?
No. Nothing to do with me, mate.
New Forest koi from Koi Wholesale. How's that work?
No, well, they have had fish from us, but no go Sankey.
So I've just been learning from a Takano what's supposedly a Sankey. That's a three-step Kahaku, and I wanted to see what would happen with the mess, the underlying Benny between the first and the second Dan. And I didn't think it would lose it, but it did. The Shiroja's starting to come over the top now. It's starting to look fucking banging. So happy I've sat on that. Nice chag.
What do you mean by New Forest koi from Koi Wholesale?
It could be it could be the I sold a load of Dainichi and Sakai ones.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's
So
when you took some of your brood stock out.
no. So I brought a load of little ones just to see what they'd do, and then I got a shot of them when I saw what they did. But I sold them in bowls. So,
Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
you
right.
doing.
Yeah, you bought some fish from Koi Wholesale, and you sold them on an auction
we've
April
sold
and May.
fish to Koi wholesale, but only non-go
No,
sanction.
these are fish that you bought from Koi Wholesale to
And
grow on, and you auctioned them off.
Yeah,
The ones,
and I messed about some, so that's probably where that's come from. But, yeah, and they would have been auction fish. You're right.
received 10 to 15 cm. This one's long joined the main pond, so only 24 cm.
Yeah. Is that another one of them?
It has H.
See, that looks like one of the little Dainichi ones.
That is, yeah, we don't say.
Yeah, it did.
But it says from Koi, New Forest Koi from Koi Wholesale, same received.
Yeah. So I sold a load off. That
Sakai Fish Farm, 40 cm. Sanka.
Ah, Sanka.
In the rain.
It's just filling his bucket up.
Yeah, just getting some water in it, see now. What platform are these koi shown on? These are in the Facebook group, mate. Gazza's Koi Pond community.
Is this isn't another one that this isn't one I sold, is it?
No.
That's Sakai Fish Farm, Sankey 40 cm. This is so that was 22nd of the 3rd, 24. Now 20th of the 7th, 24.
3 month on.
3 month on's got some body on that.
Yeah. Soon as pulled in.
Got to be happy with that. That's going to come good.
Yeah, it's got a good benny pattern in it.
See, a lot of people would think, shit, all my sumi's dropped off.
No,
but this is what we were saying in my auction.
Yeah, it'll drop back. The baby sumi's gone, and it'll recede back, and then come back through again and tighten up.
Do you remember when we was talking about having that forward vision? That sumi's pulled back, and now it's got to come and
That's a koi in 5 years' time, mate. I think it will look mental.
Yeah, bit length and body with the sumi right up, all three. Oh, you can't beat Sankey, mate. They're the nuts.
Golden corn.
Ooh, fuck me. 10 to 12.
This is from the auction the other night. This is from Ryan's. The Adfields.
Yeah. I thought we was doing a before and after, but yeah. That'd be interesting to see where they go.
It's not grown yet.
A bit too much today. I hope he's not dead. Freaking hell.
This can't be the auction the other night.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's grown.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's a nice fish.
It's got the shape of a crucian, man.
Yeah, yeah. I like the colours.
No, to be fair, that's not bad. That's going to grow the shoulders on it.
Yeah, I'll fill out on it.
That's if it came out of the bolus today. I might not be growing ever again. Tiny Yellow Monkey, 39 cm, the 7th for the 3rd, 24. So 39 cm, 17th for the 3rd. Let's have a look at this one.
Well, I know where that comes
from.
from.
Oh, my God. 6th of the 7th, 24. The size of that, man. 45. That's body out a hell of a lot, though, isn't it?
They're different fish.
God damn. Marcus, that's that fishy border for me, mate, isn't it? Bring it us back.
That's different fish, Gus. That looked like different fish.
Go to
This is
the.
come on. Danish Yellow Monkey, 39 cm, 17 for the first 24,
We
45
didn't see the
cm.
video, did we?
Play the video, mate. Okay, yeah.
Sorry, did I not click play on that one? I thought
No.
it took a still photo.
No, I can see now. See how the light changes the fish. So it's darker.
Look at the rich colour on that, though. That's the light, though, a bit. But look at that. It's a banger.
Who's got that? Marcus, someone.
Yeah.
Marcus, yeah. The one that done Lee's Electrics.
So I know where he is when I need a male one, don't I? Male yellow monkey.
New Forest kite, £100, number now 41 cm.
Like that screen record.
There's this little screen grab, cheeky.
Oh, that's nice, Rick. £100.
Oh, I know what fish that
£100,
is.
Rick.
Yeah, no, it's one of the we're getting rid of some bits.
He's moving some bits on, not getting
Yeah,
rid.
moving some bits. That's from Matt Sanowski. It's not one. It is from me, but it's not mine.
Yeah.
The cheaper from Crafty's auction was 22, now 26. Oh, we've seen that one already, haven't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one.
Rick's showing his koi, isn't he, at Birmingham?
Size, April 22nd, 14 cm.
Let's not look at size.
This is going to be fecking massive, isn't it?
Let's not look at size, fish.
Maybe a slab head and half this, you watch. Oh, crap.
It is male, Rick. Marcus put.
Oh,
It is
now,
male.
look at that, man. Jesus Christ. Now 65 cm.
That's a nice shag, isn't it?
This is going to make me go right back to the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. From that to that. April 22 to now.
2.5 years.
Yeah. Flipping heck. 14 cm. What's it now, Si? What's its full 65? 2 years.
Yeah, that's what you want, isn't it?
That's some growth.
He needs a bigger bowl though, doesn't he? Because that's jammed.
That's corner to corner, isn't it? Just so it fits in. Right then, gents. Pick your winner. I know which one I like. I mean,
It's easy, mate. Tony Barker's Sankey, number 1.
Tony Barker's Sankey. Well, I'm going to tell you mine. None of you are going to agree with it, but
You're gonna go with the NND Kicker Ryu, mate.
that's my winner. That's beautiful.
To be
Just
fair,
because I like something different, but that is mint.
I think I'm probably on board with Gaz there.
Yeah, I had that one.
I do like that Sankey number 1, and Tony's winding me up with that for ages. But that's come on a treatment. The scale,
The scalation on that
never
is
seen
beautiful.
that scalation and that little one. The nice
I
little
had
road
that-
to start with.
I had that one as my number 2. And I've done Simon Shear's again, Shiro as number 3.
Best Deutsch.
Sorry. Best Deutsch. Yeah. Mate, that's going to be banging. Looking forward to seeing what that comes in another year.
For me, that's my winner. But I mean, just because it's something different.
The scalation on that is fucking brilliant.
To be fair, size
Well-
Chag at the end as well is pretty damn.
Size Chag's nuts, isn't it? That's mad. That's some growth and a half, man.
Let's have 3 different winners. I'm going with the Chag. Crafty can go with my Sankey that Tony's going to give me soon.
And I'm going to go with that one. Marcus,
What did everyone else think? See what you guys think.
what do you guys think? Yeah, let us know. Which one do you reckon? Out of all what you've seen.
Yeah, that's banging, mate.
Midnight
Let's have a
fish.
look at them scales again, mate.
On the do the first video, Gaz.
This
those
one?
scales are the top. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have thought
You
that
can,
that
you
would have
can
looked.
see it though, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Neat as a die, mate.
100 quid that was.
Yeah.
I think that should be a GKP pond. That's meant that mate. I like that a lot.
Who was the breeder? Was that Aoki or
Well, let's see.
no NND, weren't it? NND.
NND Kikikuru.
I fucking love them. Mm.
You can't knock that. The length of the body and the scalation, mate. If that seamy tightens up into some nice.
Marcus, can you show?
That would look wicked in a show, man. That'd give Vincent room for money.
Don't. Vince is already planning. He's got 72,
That zip
72
is
toilets
mint on
ready.
that is
72 Midori guy.
72.
that's got a really good zip, that, hasn't it? That's something else. That, and the fact that it's that nice light silver colour throughout it all, and it does look better now. Head's opened up into a pattern rather than it being a solid colour.
Go back to Tony Barker's, mate. Number one.
Can't knock Tony Barker's. I mean, they're all Tony Barker's are belters, aren't they? I mean, look at that thing, man. It's a beast. But that other one was a nice fish. Rick, I bet you're pissed, mate, aren't you?
Yeah.
It does look funny, doesn't it? You can tell he looks way more polarized than his.
Yeah, that still takes my number one. That.
It is quality. It just upsets me when I was bidding on the bloody thing. Another fiver, it was mine.
I tell you what, Simon, mate. If you get that Ginrin Yatsuri to 50 cm, mate, that's going to look at a nice fish. Keep that body profile looking like that, and get some.
Keep going on it. Sorry, honest to God, mate, you've worked wonders on that fish. It looks fucking brilliant.
That was pretty good. Koi appreciation. That I enjoyed that, seeing them from
Nice, wasn't it?
what they were to what they've become.
Yeah, but that's what's so good about seeing development, mate. You know.
No one sent any stinkers in though, did they?
Hang about. Look at this. Rick,
Flying about.
you lost it over a fiver. A fiver, man.
It just, mate. There's a wound. Put some salt in it and fucking add some vinegar while you're at it.
There we go. Thank you very much for sending in your fish. I do need to find out and remember what is for. Actually, they won't be alive next week, ladies and gents.
They
We
will.
will be missing next week.
They will.
It will.
They will actually. They will be alive a bit over on Crafty's channel on
Crafty Koi.
Crafty Koi. So I will be tuning in
Rick will be tuning in,
from Greece.
and I believe Alan Tate's going to co with us as well.
Oh, great! That'd be exciting.
Oh, mate, he's like, what do you like to do about it? And I'll translate now and then.
I do need some translation down the bottom.
Yeah, I'll translate for you. So, what I will say is, Rick, try and get some pictures of before and after.
After what?
Like progression. Because we'll
for next
cover,
week.
Yeah, we'll cover off things like that.
So we got that was auction koi. The next one will be Benny Ginga. So not next week, the week after will be the Benny Ginga. What we're going to do.
I like Benny Ginga.
Yeah, me too. One of my favourites again. Different fish. I like them a lot. So yeah, Benny Ginga for not next week, the
We
week
want
after.
to be together.
And then after the Benny Ginga, we're going to get somebody to come on and pick one for us again. That's something.
We need a couple of you fuckers that watch to come and join us and have a natter.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Yeah. Sit here all night. With all these
What we should do is show us your koi keeper. That's what we should
Simon
do.
says, cracking, I haven't got any. I'll buy one, mate. It's an excuse. Look, this is the reason why I do this. We do this koi appreciation, and everybody who wants to go get themselves a new fish to go, what's on the GKP for koi appreciation next week?
We haven't had Garomo yet either.
We haven't had Garomo. No, we haven't. I don't think we've ever had a Garomo.
We must have
Oh,
done
yes,
it.
we did last year. No, that was last year. This year we haven't. We haven't had Garomo. Yeah, because you put yours in last year, didn't you? Yeah, you got.
We could do Sankey again, Si said. I agree, Si. Just do Sankey every week. I'll be happy.
Well, actually, I mean, yeah, Sankey would be good because I've got 2 now.
Yeah, why not? Got to appreciate whatever's there, haven't you?
Yeah. You could all do a video of my. Could do a video of my new pink pond. Do you actually have the water pink too? I think you should.
If not, give me a ring. I'm sure I've got pink water dye that you can use. Well, red.
You could do like appreciation best body shape. Everyone send the pictures in of their koi with the Phil's got the best shape.
Or before and afters.
A Chiba. We haven't had a Chiba yet this year, I don't think.
No, I don't like a Chiba anyway because mine died.
Oh, get another. I got some for them.
I want to come down. I'll have a look.
We've had favourite koi, Sankey, Kahaku, Kajaku, any single colour, Asagi, Goshka, Showa, Matsuba, Karashigoi, any Tansho, Hiyatsure, Pericina, auction koi, and then the next one to come in 2 weeks' time, which will be Beniginga.
And then
I said,
Garomo.
not many people that have got Benigingas, and then like loads of people start typing in that they've got a Beniginga.
Let's do Garomo after Beniginga.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Gromo to come for month after. Anything within Go Sankey.
Yeah, and all right. Let's
To
do
be
a
fair,
go
you could do show class. We could do Ginrin.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you could.
There we go. You've got the next 3 appreciations there, mate, haven't you?
Yeah. Any Ginrin.
We could do any,
Go Sankey, Ginrin, and then we've got Achiba, and then
Garomo.
Goshke. Sorry.
Garomo.
What's a Beniginga?
It's like a dirty Kajaku.
It's a black-based Kajaku instead of a white-based Kajaku.
Let me see if I've got one still of it. I don't know if I have.
They're nice.
Not nice enough. Not yet.
I think I sent you a couple the other week, mate.
That's a Beniginga. That's my Beniginga.
Nice, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. Very similar to a Kajaku, but just that.
They're black-based. The Kajaku is white-based, and the Beniginga is a black-based fish.
I don't know if we have had Matsakawa back. I don't think we have had Matsakawa back this year, or its Deutsch counterpart.
Top Jags, did you have to Google how to spell Matsakawa Baki, mate? And if you say no, I don't believe you. I fucking did.
I did, mate. I did as well. Actually, now it's stored in my phone in predictive text because I've used it that many times.
I got quite close, but I weren't like I was only 90% of the way there.
Yeah, there you go. That's you have dibs that, Jeff. If it ever goes, mate, it's your pick, mate. It's on you first. But it won't ever be going. It's actually put some size on. That's what made me notice, Jeff. Against the Kahaku, yours were considerably bigger, and it ain't much considerably bigger anymore. Yours has got a bigger body to it, width to it. But the length of that and Machaga both starting to catch up. And he's put nope because I've spelled it wrong.
I need to check it now.
Yeah, you have.
Why is it so quiet? There's no one on anymore.
Yes, Matsu.
Matsu.
Power.
Backy. Oh, we could do them.
Yeah, Matsu.
MATSUK.
Yeah, he got AK. The rest of it's right.
Yeah, you just an A. Just where you got the A between the S and the K, it should have been EU. Matsu.
Well, you done better than I did, mate. Could you imagine if that was your name and being 4 trying to learn how to spell it?
Matsukawa Backy. We get pictures of them. We're doing them.
I struggled with Day when I was 4.
With what?
My surname.
Day.
D-A-Y. It was a hard one.
That's an hard one. Right, just bear with me 1 second. I've just got to make sure I can let all these people join this community group. There's like 28 of them. Never. Oh.
Mate, I must have accepted about 40 today already.
I think I've done loads, mate, to be fair. But what I found out now, though, I can actually send every one of them a message. So what I'm going to do is just tag my little GKP on side of it, every one of them. I'm going to say GKP, link.
Do it.
5.1k already, though, mate. That's mad.
Yeah, we only hit 5k. When did we hit 5k? Tuesday, wasn't it?
Tuesday, yeah.
Good advertising.
We're doing about 450 people on average weekly at the minute.
Doing it. Rinsing them. How much does it cost to join?
Yeah,
it doesn't, mate. It doesn't. But Gaz has seen it, mate. I ain't done any Gaz, have I? That's why I put Gaz down.
He literally isn't doing anything. He just.
To be fair, you let me in as well.
I go to bed, get up in the morning. There's 47 people sat there waiting to join. Anyway, like as might as well, I'm gonna put it in. Don't forget, guys, to join the UK koi community, and don't forget if you want to get your fishing and you want to share your fish with us, to join the Gaz's Koi Pond community. It's far easier for us to do it through the Facebook group, sharing the fish. So if anybody would like to join, it's free, cost nothing. Just click on there, then you can upload your fish and you can share them with us for the next koi appreciation. It's far easier doing it this way. And all I do is put a little post.
Have a look on your Facebook page, like the community one. I'm sure you can set a chat up.
Yes, I've got one.
That people can drop it into there. And I think that you'll be able to click through the stuff a lot easier on your live rather than
just put it into the actual community chat and put it as show fish. Yeah. Facebook group is helpful and quick answers too. Thank you very much, Lorraine.
I think, did Lorraine not say whilst Gaz is busy trying to build someone else's channel? Yeah.
Oh, just trying to give a friend a bit of a boost to a channel.
Yeah,
mate, in the very near future. Hopefully, going to be building her own business to be working from home. There'll be a lot of content, a lot of stuff to do, a lot of projects going on. Well worth watching. Vicky's Bubble and Fin.
Oh yeah, Vix's. Yeah. I've seen that video.
And obviously Daz's, which is it's nearing that turn now. Daz is getting to the point where. Well, what's his?
He don't want to go to work anymore.
He's not taking retirement, but he is backscaling from the landscape gardening side of things.
And going to be taking it a little bit more easy and giving himself a bit of his own time. Yeah.
And then putting a lot more to start developing the farm and getting that up and running so that he can pack in doing what he's doing and then go into doing it from home.
Fuck all that. Right. Are you coming to Japan in February, Rick? Or what?
Yeah. Come on, Rick. Feb, Japan. Me, you.
Sorry.
Daz.
Well, you're the only one called Rick.
I'm not. There's loads of Ricks out there. I can name them.
On this telly.
On big telly.
On telly.
If I can sort out some ponds to put some fish in, I might do.
But that's got a koi farm. You can put fish wherever you want. It's massive.
Just fucking cold. A couple of fucking ponds.
Put it with water.
Yeah, done. Heated, mate.
Yeah, but I've sorted it for you already, haven't I? Just kill a load of fish.
Put a new polytunnel in. You can get one for like 100 quid. Daz has just got a 40 foot by 60 foot by 50 foot. 100 quid, man. And then all you need is tap.
What sizes?
40 foot by 60 foot. Or 30 foot by, I think it's 30 foot. How big would it be? It was massive.
30 foot.
Big.
30
big.
foot.
30
30
foot by
foot,
12
30
foot.
foot.
30 foot by 40 foot.
He's even got 2 patio doors for it.
30 foot by 40 foot.
But the thing is that polytunnel's no good in the winter. If
Yes,
you're bringing
it is.
fish back
Warmer
in
in there
Japan,
than what
mate,
it is
you need
outside.
heating. You need
Put
heating.
the-
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Deweed your air source heat pump from the one that you're not using it in and put it in there.
Weed it off. I can't even see it anymore.
It's growing
Or,
almost a crap all
or
over.
buy them heaters that I've got, mate, and just drop them into the water.
55 candles perfectly placed in strategic positions with a bucket over top of them. I'll keep it warm. 24-hour candle.
It's bound to work, isn't it?
Right. I'll put your name down. That's a full quota of people now.
It's 20 foot by 30 foot.
You're
Oh,
trying
wait
to fill up a quota. Get 6, you get 1 travels free.
No. Everyone's paying their own flights and shit. I'm just taking them round for the day.
That's that
60 by 40.
I'm-
That's it.
Craft
I'm
House, go to
organising.
Japan,
I'm
mate.
organising having a couple of cars. So if the way that things are going, on invite only before everyone starts saying I'm coming. It's on invite only for the first time, so I can test the water.
Cool.
That's a date.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us so far.
That's a minibus, mate.
Oh, man. That's going to be banging in karaoke.
Oh, fuck the karaoke, man. It's getting up there and looking at the bollocks fish, mate. Getting in Aoki, mate, and fucking looking at it, mate. Honest to God,
I get around those.
faint when you see what's in that place.
I'm going to do, mate. I'm going to be blown away. I know I will. I was blown
Aoki,
away.
mate, I was like, holy fuck balls, man. And then he wouldn't sell me
I've
anything.
loved
Like,
every farm that I've been to, mate. And that's, every koi farm that I've visited in UK has been brilliant. When I went to Poland, I enjoyed it. It was mint. And
any
I know
koi
that's not gonna be-
place in the UK, guys, is
I know.
not
But that's what, I'm
fucking
not meaning
scrap.
that. I'm not meaning it in a disrespectful way, but I really enjoyed it down at Rick's. It's a beautiful place to be. Lovely down there for nights fishing. Beautiful sky scenes and everything that we did. Mint.
Okay.
But
When-
I know
when you
going
see
over there is
these
gonna be next
mate,
level, mate. That's why I'm saying I'm going to be blown away. I will.
When
be
you
blown
see-
away. I know.
a saggy that are over a meter just fucking sat in Otsuka's main pond, mate, and you go, holy fucking have some of that.
All right, Lee.
Mental, mate. Honest to God. And then you go out to Aoki, and then you see some of the weird and wonderful that he's got, and they're not big. They're just like normal size Nisai, but just a different quality, man.
But you can't buy them.
Do that. Well, you can't, because I said to him, how much for these? 25 million. Yeah, right. Fuck off. It's like, I have some of your toes, I. And he pointed to it. He pointed across to his other fish house, and I shit you not, every single pond that was in there were just full of holding nets. Just it was like a Rubik's cube full of holding nets. It's like literally all of his stock that he wanted to get rid of was already sold, and that was February.
God damn.
Don't go there then.
No, we will go there,
I do know, mate.
even if we don't get anything, because it's just worth going to have a look.
See, my farm's the best in the world. It's not even mine, but I'll take that.
It's wicked being down there. I know you don't. It's where you go every day, Rick, and I know you enjoy doing it every day. I know you go down there, but it is awesome going down there, man. It's brilliant. It was wicked last time we were down for a weekend. Loved every minute of it. Oh, Rick, I
There is a
remember.
big difference,
I know where my waders are as well.
When you go to Japan, right, and you go into the fish houses, it blows your mind, right? Because you've got a fish house, you can walk across the fish in each pond, thousands of amazing fish, but they've come from 200 acres of ponds in the mountains to be in this little fish house.
I was looking
in the winter; it is insane. But actually, you come to our place; they're out on the farm, aren't they? They're not all jammed in.
Yeah, but it's still awesome to go around, Rick, and follow quad round when fish are all coming up and looking at all them fish coming up to the surface. Just sees a colour just tramming across top of water for food. It's mint.
That's like going out to Japan in the middle of summer which you're never going to do because there's nothing for sale.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fish houses, it does blow your mind. You just pondfuls of shower that are just.
Hey, to have your mind blown, then, mate. Just tell Mrs. when she comes home, you go in Japan.
Otsuka, I've got a picture of Otsuka doing a console box for one of his customers, mate. And he's there with his. They have these aprons that clip round them. They're like on a fucking hairband. They go clunk, just like, and then he's only about 3'10". He fucking waddles in like, then on his hands and knees, mate. And he's got a bowl here and a bowl here, and he's going. He's just throwing these little 10-centimeter fucking toes over his shoulder into the bowl, into a bowl, into a bowl. Just looking back in the drink over his shoulder. You sit there like that, but it's so dense with fish that you're like, imagine how long it's going to take you to fucking grind all of them things, man.
And he does it personally though, by his hands, doesn't he?
But they've already done it about 4 times to get to that point.
Yeah, before it's got to that, mate. It's fucking insane what they do, mate. Yes, they are, Jeff. In fact, get yourself one now. Get yourself a new one. I've got your personal details. I'll keep dropping every single day, mate. Yeah. So
we're still live.
Oh, we are still live. Just checking.
What I'm looking to do. So I've already in me talks. So potential for the All Japan Koi show. All right. But there's like a 3-day gap between the end of the koi show and being able to shop at certain farms. So we're looking at extending the visit a little bit so we can get the All Japan Koi show in, because I'd like to experience that.
Yeah, I'd love to experience that.
But then traveling, like, rather than sitting around with your thumb up your ass for a couple of days, like twiddling your thumbs and whatever, is like jumping in one of the motors or a couple of the motors, then traveling 4 hours across Japan to go to places that aren't necessarily going to be there. So, yeah, we're already started working on a potential. You know, it's only July. And I'm working out February.
You can go down south for the end of the day. The farms down there, they ain't, what's at the show, it doesn't matter because you're not buying them.
Yeah. Well, that's right, mate. It's just having the ability to buy. They take so many of an entourage up there to take their stock and whatnot. Because, you know, it's whether the people that are looking after the ponds are able to actually sell. Because not all of them are around.
Let's just go for the All Japan and then go back a few weeks later and clean up on all the bargains.
Yeah. Well, it's an option. I'm only going out there for however long, so you know, I'll give me dates as and when I cement them in.
Just tell me when we're going. Job's a good one. How many people are you taking, Crafter? Mr. Jeff Lee says.
Jeff, message me if you're interested, mate. I don't mind. I think you're probably going to be the eighth person, but that's literally it then.
You've got to eat a chocolate cricket if you're coming, Jeff.
No.
Be some challenges.
It's going to be worse than that. fermented frog bollocks, mate.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that shit. Don't mind a chocolate coated bug. I'll try that just because it's got chocolate on it. I might be able to get through that, but.
You need some stinky shit.
Yeah, man.
Liquid squid in a tin.
Yeah,
I've seen some of that stuff that Lee and him were eating. Him like, God damn, man, what Ryan? Yeah.
Well, that's not even the worst of what they sell, guys. Fucking mate. Some of the stuff, mate, it looks like Haribo on the front. When you open it, it's fucking like dried octopus fucking tentacles like that.
I could do that. That'd be all right. I'll buy that.
You fucking wouldn't, mate. The stink of them is fucking rank. I even sell fermented eggs in like,
that's fucking wrong.
Like vacuum packed plastic.
Fermented egg.
Yeah, man. Fucking honest to God, man. They're fucking vile creatures. Fucking vile creatures.
It amazes me how much stuff they can get out of a vending machine.
Mate,
everything comes out of a vending machine, doesn't it? Literally. Get everything
You
you
buy
want.
li-
Free cost
little-
meal out of a vending machine.
Mate, bearing in mind, like I do like
Chips and
I
gravy.
do, no, they don't. I do like a cup of coffee, right? And over there, it's fucking wank. But go to a vending machine, right?
Get a
Mate,
tin of coffee.
Yeah, but I tell you, it's ready to drink. It's not like baking hot, so you burn all your fucking taste buds. It's like straight down the
Just
pipe.
bang
It's
on.
fucking beautiful.
You get
Real
soup
good.
out of them and all, though, don't you? Soup
Sweet
out of
corn
a vending
soup.
machine. Yeah, sweet
Yeah,
corn
all
soup.
sorts, mate. Cold tea, hot tea, lukewarm tea. They do ice fucking smoothies.
Mr. T, Mrs. T,
Yeah,
anything you want.
I
With
do the
tea.
lot, mate. But the best place that we'll definitely go is the fucking Wagoi beef shop, mate. Oh, honest to God, like, fuck your vegetables right off. I mean, I ain't got a figure like this through eating loads of veg, man. It's like when that beef comes out, mate, and it's marble, whoosh, straight down the pipe. No
You
fucking.
get yourself as well, don't you, on that deadly fire that I don't like.
Honest to God, it's fucking lush, mate. My mouth's watering now.
Yeah, but your mouth waters at 6 Big Macs.
Mate, yeah, that's right. You're right.
Right then, ladies and gents, we're coming up to the 4-hour mark, literally 10 minutes off. Massive thanks for everybody for joining us this evening. And again, thank you very much, Rick. Thank you very much, Anthony, for joining us.
You're welcome,
And
man.
dire starvation, so says.
You should eat before you
Usual
come out,
thing
mate.
is what?
You should have eaten before he came out, shouldn't he?
Should. Usual thing, guys, if you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favor. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And until not next week, but the week after, we'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy, all. Good night.
Cricket bats. You are all a bunch of cricket bats.
Good to know.